we're racing.
We're in the turn.
Here to the inside comes Kyle Larson. He and Hamlin bump.
We're on pit road.
4 tires Sunoco Racing Fuel. The race out from pit road is Denny Hamlin. Eric Jones goes off second.
We are live from the track. The Motor Racing Network, your home for NASCAR racing. Don't miss a lap, pit stop, or side-by-side race for the win. Listen to all the play-by-play action on your local radio station and MRN or NASCAR.com.
Starting lineup is coming up next from Martinsville Speedway. This is the Motor Racing Network, the voice of NASCAR.
Get ready to rev your engines, NASCAR fans. The thrill, the speed, the action. You can now experience it all for free on the NASCAR channel on Tubi. All-day access to NASCAR action, streaming classic moments, iconic rivalries, and behind-the-scenes stories from the greatest drivers. Best of all, it's completely free. Stream anytime, anywhere on your favorite fast platform. No fees, no strings, just NASCAR. Find the NASCAR channel on your streaming device and start watching today.
More than 200 members of Congress are standing up for AM radio listeners. The AM Radio for Every Vehicle Act will keep AM radio in cars, because when cell and internet services are down, this free service could be your only lifeline. Text AM to 39179. Tell Congress to pass this critical legislation now.
Message and data rates may apply. You may receive up to 4 messages a month, and you may text STOP to stop.
This message furnished by the National Association of Broadcasters.
Now, here's the starting lineup.
Starting 38th is Connor Zilic. Austin Green will go 37th. Takuma Koga starts 36th. Jeremy Clements starts 35th. Mason Maggio 34th. Patrick Star-Poli starts 33rd. Josh Williams 32nd. And Garrett Smithley 31st.
Dean Thompson will start in the 30th position. 29th is Anthony Alfredo. Brad Perez will start in 28th. Kyle Sieg will start 27th. 26th starter is Connor Mosack. 25th, Ryan Ellis. Sam Mayer will start from the 24th position. Corey Day in 23rd. 22nd is Daniel Dye. And Jesse Love 21st.
Starting 20th is Thomas Annunziata. Myatt Snyder starts 19th. Nick Sanchez goes 18th and Blaine Perkins 17th. Brennan Poole starts 16th. Sammy Smith is the 15th starter. Starting 14th is Justin Bonsignor, won the NASCAR Whelen Modified Tour race here Thursday night. Starting 13th is Taylor Gray. The 12th starter is Jeff Burton, and Brandon Jones starts 11th.
As the field begins to roll from the pit lane for the first of several parade and pace laps, Parker Retzlaff will start from the 10th position. 9th is Christian Eckes. 8th, Brendan Queen. Ryan Sieg will start from 7th. Austin Hill in 6th. 5th starter is Sheldon Creed. Justin Allgaier will start in the 4th spot. Then it's Eric Almirola 3rd. Carson Kvapil will start 2nd. And Harrison Burton will lead the field to the green flag after winning the pole earlier today with a time of 19.843 seconds. That equates to 95.429 miles per hour.
So much about Martinsville Speedway is about tradition. Just like having our Dave Moody in turn number 3 from Barrie, Vermont.
Well, thank you, Alex, very much. And good evening once again, everybody. High above turns 3 and 4 here at the Martinsville Speedway. Let's give you the lay of the land. They call this place the Paperclip, and for good reason. A very short racetrack, only a half mile. Most of that racetrack is straightaways, which means not a lot left for the turns. They are very, very sharp. Banked only 12 degrees. That is not enough to heal an ill-handling race car. Bottom of the track is definitely the place to be. The inside line almost always has the advantage. And we'll see whether drivers can make it work up high as the evening goes on. We'll cover it all from high above turns 3 and 4 here at Martinsville.
All right, thank you very much, Dave. Certainly going to be a lot of action around this paperclip-shaped half-mile oval here this evening. Also going to be a lot of action more than likely on the pit lane. Let's take a final sweep down there now as the cars continue to work around the racetrack, and we'll begin with Steve Post.
Kyle, you mentioned this a little bit earlier. Justin Bonsignor gets a bonus start here for Joe Gibbs Racing. Driving relief from William Sawalich. He had a lap 45 crash at Talladega, suffered a head injury, and has to sit out this one. Justin Bonsignor, this is his 8th start of the season here in the Xfinity Series. Had a 12th place run at Iowa, so looking to maybe crack into the top 10 here on the short track, and this has been a good short track for him in his modified. He won the race on Thursday night here. He also won last year's NASCAR Whelen Modified Tour. So Justin Bonsignor, a lot of good laps around the racetrack. That win on Thursday night put him second in the final point standings in his home modified division. We'll see how Justin does. He starts in the 14th spot. Chris Wilner.
Well, Steve, Martinsville has also been pretty kind to Christian Eckes, who eyes his first Xfinity Series win here tonight. The 9-time Truck Series winner. He's got 2 grandfather clocks from the Truck Series here at Martinsville, including a drama-filled race in the fall race here 1 year ago. His short track success is also translated now into the Xfinity Series. He's got 3 straight top 10s coming into tonight, and he'll make his 3rd straight top 10 start in ninth. Now, when I asked him about being potentially in another slugfest at the end, he said, I'm ready. I haven't even got myself pumped up with a little Limp Bizkit playlist here on the pre-race grid, and whether there's a playoff driver or not in the front of me, my focus is on a Martinsville clock, so Christian could certainly shake things up here tonight at the end. Wendy Venturini?
Well, Sam Mayer didn't have any Limp Bizkit playing in his headset, but he is prepared and in a great mood at the pre-race stage. I spoke to him often throughout the day today. Now, he's in this position 22 points behind in the 7th place of points because of his 38th finish at Talladega last week. He said he's going to put that behind him. All eyes on just moving forward, trying to get as many points as possible. When we come here to Martinsville, his 8th start, his best finish was last year of 2nd. However, he has 2 career wins on short tracks in 20 starts for Sam Mayer. So he feels pretty confident, but he's on my end of pit road, and I will let you guys know because he is the furthest back of our 8 championship drivers going for those top 4 spots. He starts 24th.
As he gets set to go, and he said in his pre-race interview, he's going to use the bumper to move people out of the way. Drivers now make their way around the pit lane, make sure their tachometers are set. And Cole Custer, how difficult is the pit lane at Martinsville Speedway?
It's crucial. It can be your best help or your worst nightmare because if you speed, you're giving up all those spots and it's extremely hard to pass. But at the same time, if you're good down pit road and you make good time, you're going to pass guys when it's hard to pass. So, it's one of those things it's very crucial when we come here. It's hard to get right with the corners, and you have to put a lot of emphasis on it.
Todd, how hard is it going to be difficult for Connor Zilic to make his way to the front of the field here, starting last after the issues earlier today? And how might they be able to help him on the pit lane?
Yeah, the fortunate part is he's guaranteed through. He doesn't need to stress about today. I think you just work on, obviously, the car. You hope the car's got speed and work your way forward. If there's cautions that come out of sequence, you may have an opportunity to put tires on at a different time than the rest of the field does to try to flip some track position. Stages at 60 and 120 to start with. A caution in the middle of one of those, maybe a stay-out call. Those are opportunities to manufacture some track position and then get back on sequence.
Field makes their way around the racetrack, another pace lap or so before we get the 1-to-go signal to go under the green flag. Harrison Burton won pole position earlier today, his first career Xfinity Series pole. He'll have Carson Kvapil starting alongside him. Eric Almirola, he's another one of those interesting drivers in tonight's race, Kyle, given the fact that that team and that number 19 Joe Gibbs Racing Toyota is going to be racing for an owner's championship next week at Phoenix. And you got a veteran driver in Almirola that typically doesn't get too involved in the pushing and shoving with the race cars.
Picked up a race win a couple of weeks ago at the Las Vegas Motor Speedway in a thriller there to qualify that team into the championship for the owners. Looked solid in practice earlier today. Will start 3rd, and I fear that if he gets out front, it could be a tough night for the rest of the field for Eric Almirola, the way that team has been hooked up and the way Eric has driven that car in his limited starts, a car that Justin Bonsignor was supposed to pilot these final weeks of the season, but because of where they are in the Owners' Championship run, Eric behind the wheel of that car, Justin jumping in the car, vacated by William Sawalich here tonight due to that crash and the injury suffered from it last week at the Talladega Superspeedway.
Field is making a second trip, Todd Gordon, down the pit lane.
Yeah, one of the AMR safety trucks kind of crossed the exit of pit lane and stacked the field. They had to stop before they really got to that last yellow line. That last segment can be the one that becomes the make or break of where you are speed-wise. So NASCAR giving them another opportunity to get a clean run all the way around pit road without a safety vehicle in the way.
Cole, how difficult is it to judge your speed on this pit lane that begins over in turn 3, exits in turn 2, and a lot of these pit stalls are in corners?
Yeah, it's very tough. I mean, there's two different corners you have to figure out here where you have to bump your speed up to make pit road speed. So it's very crucial, and you really have to pay attention. And the cars, you'll see them down there. They'll start hopping and bucking down pit road, and that makes it to where it's really hard to keep very steady on your RPMs to keep your speed right.
You mentioned the phrases hopping and bucking. That's going to pit road. On the racetrack, that's something called wheel hop, something that may come into play in tonight's race, too. What is wheel hop?
I don't want to hear any hopping. If I'm a driver, I don't want to hear any of that. You have the wheel hop that Connor Zilich had, which comes from the rear of the car. And then you also, the classic thing you can fight here at Martinsville is a hop from the front end coming in the left front of the car. And that is the death hop that you do not want because it is very painful to get right.
And that hop for Connor Zilich earlier today in turn number 1 in practice sent the car into a spin and ultimately into the outside wall. They repaired the car. He did not qualify. Will start 38th here tonight. But because of the points he's accumulated over the first couple of weeks and during the regular season, all of those playoff points carried over into the playoffs, into this round of 8. He is already advanced to the championship 4, no matter what happens here tonight. We get set to go racing here tonight. Field has got the 1 to go signal. They're on the back straightaway. Harrison Burton, Carson Quapple, Eric Almirola, Justin Allgaier, the first 2 rows with the call to start here tonight at Martinsville, Goldsboro, North Carolina's Alex Hayden.
Field bunches up 2 by 2 under the LED lights, and the green flag goes in the air, and the NASCAR Xfinity Series is racing at Martinsville. On the break on the bottom side of the racetrack, pole winner Harrison Burton dives for the bottom of the speedway.
A perfect start for Harrison Burton. He is cleanly away with the lead by the time they race off turn number 2. He'll lead the battle behind him for second. Eric Almirola to the inside on Quapple.
Immediately goes to the inside for the runner-up spot. Does Almirola. Quapple trying to get back in the line in third, just in front of Justin Allgaier.
Wedges his way down into that low groove. May have caught a little bit of a break from his Junior Motorsports teammate, so they are single file back through about the top 7, racing into turn 3.
Right down at the bottom of the racetrack, the preferred line around the Martinsville Speedway. The front 6 now will break away. Now make it the front 7 is Austin Hill. He really gets aggressive with Brendan Butterbean Queen. However, Queen will have none of it.
Austin Hill, the first man stuck in that outside lane, trying to find a way to wedge himself back down into the low lane, but Queen will not let him have it. Right behind him comes Christian Eckes.
That is the race from 6th on back. To the inside goes Brendan Queen. Austin Hill will get in the line just in front of Christian Eckes and Brandon Jones.
Single file now back through the top 12 or 15. Chasing still at the front of the pack, the pole sitter, Harrison Burton, who leads Almirola by about 3 feet.
Further back, it is as expected and as advertised at Martinsville. A lot of beating and banging already, including playoff contender Jesse Love. He's back there. He's got Sam Mayer on his back bumper as well as they work their way off turn 2.
Having to be very careful at this early juncture. The last thing Jesse Love wants is to sustain some damage or even worse, get turned into the fence and have his night end. He's got a lot of company at the back door.
Moving around to the inside on Blaine Perkins a moment ago. Jesse Love, Perkins in line just in front of Sam Mayer, who has his hands full going back into turn number 2.
Now Jesse Love has been able to pull away from that battle and get himself a little security and daylight. Right behind him, though, the battle is on. Sam Mayer to the inside of Blaine Perkins.
Trying to take that spot away does Mayer. Further up, battle for the race lead now. Off turn number 2.
Down the back straightaway, Harrison Burton trying to fend off the advances of Eric Almirola. He'll do so, at least for now, into turn 3.
One car sliding up the racetrack. That's Blaine Perkins in turn number 2. Going to lose a couple of positions there, but gathers it back up as we continue to watch the battle for the lead. Harrison Burton and Eric Almirola.
Burton just wrapping the bottom of the racetrack, not giving Almirola much of a look to the inside. Eric looks on entry into turn 3, but that's all he can do.
And he's just going to have to ride in the tire tracks right now. Cole Custer, how frustrating is it? Eric feels like he's got a faster car, just not ready to make the move yet.
Yeah, you really have to just time your pass perfect because you have to get right on that guy's bumper. And Eric, he probably doesn't want to be too aggressive right now. It's early in the race. He's locked into the next round, so he's going to try and take his time. But you really got to try and dime in the corner and try and work around him the best you can.
About to complete lap number 9 here this evening, and Harrison Burton has led them all. Almirola second, Allgaier third, Creed is fourth. Best battle is from fifth on back.
Yeah, Sheldon Creed just made his way underneath Carson Quapple a lap ago. Opened the door on the inside and will immediately be filled by Ryan Sieg. Sieg moves through. Now it's Daniel Dye's turn down low.
Off turn 4, yeah, Quapple has no choice but to roll out of the throttle and let Brendan Queen go right on by on the bottom of the racetrack. They all stay right together off the backstretch.
Down the back straightaway they go. 2-car breakaway at the front of the pack, but it may not be two for long. Justin Allgaier beginning to close in third.
Slowly but surely reeling them in. 9/10 of a second back. Last time was Allgaier. 7/10 this time by as Almirola looks to make a move on Burton for the lead.
The little Gator's on the move, and Almirola can see him coming. Eric now turning up the pressure on the back bumper of the leader, Harrison Burton.
Burton is just sliding up the track a bit, and he is diamonding the corner that Cole Custer talked about. How difficult is it as the leader that you have the track position that you want, but you're taking a chance by leaving the bottom of the track wide open?
It's always the tough thing here. Do you want to try and go for the fast line that's diamonding the corner, or do you want to protect and really wrap that bottom where it's harder for them to hit you out of the way? So I think at the end of the day, this early in the race, you got to go where the speed's at, where it looks like it's diamonding.
What was 9/10 is now less than a half second among the top three. Harrison Burton, Eric Almirola, and Justin Allgaier. Here's a bit for the lead on the backstretch.
Almirola found some daylight on entry into turn number 1. Wedges his way to the inside. He's got a fender under Harrison Burton. Now they're side by side.
Side by side off of turn number 4, and at the line it's Burton by a car length. Almirola will settle back in the line and try it again here coming up shortly. He knows he has to go because Justin Allgaier has closed in from third. Let's pause 10 seconds for station identification on the Motor Racing Network. Just underway here tonight at the Martinsville Speedway for the NASCAR Xfinity Series. 15 laps of 250 are complete. Harrison Burton has led them all, but here comes Eric Almirola. He wants to be the second leader of this event. They are side by side for the top spot. Justin Allgaier looking on in third.
Allgaier in the catbird seat, waiting to see how this one works out. Eric Almirola off turn 2, down the back straightaway. Halfway there on the inside line. Burton gives up the fight, looks to get to the bottom. I'm not sure Allgaier's going to let him do it.
No, Allgaier did not want to, but Justin Allgaier had the back end of the car dance sideways with him when he applied the power to the racetrack. So Allgaier slips just a bit. Burton finds a spot at the bottom of the racetrack. All the while, Almirola drives away.
He has gone by a couple of car lengths, and it only took him about a lap to do it. Justin Allgaier, a wide entry into turn 3, tries to come off low and make the move, but can't get it done.
A battle will now shift for the second position. Harrison Burton in second, Allgaier in third, arcing a little bit wider to the exit of turn number 2, but remains in position number 3. Large gap back to Ryan Sieg in third, Brendan Queen fourth, Sheldon Creed to round out the top 5, then Carson Quapple. He's been kicked up into that second lane. Here comes Brandon Jones to his inside. That race the best right now among the top 10 from 7th on back.
Carson Quapple's Junior Motorsports Chevrolet just not able to hold the bottom of the racetrack right now. He has slipped up out of the low groove 2 or 3 times already, and it has cost him at least one spot every time.
While he lost that spot for Junior Motorsports, his teammate Justin Allgaier gained a position. Allgaier able to get by Harrison Burton. He's now up to the number 2 spot. We've got 40 laps to go in the opening stage of tonight's race, and Eric Almirola is the race leader.
Just like a pit crew helps a driver reach victory lane, Ally helps you reach your financial goals. Ally has tools like savings buckets to keep your savings on track and savings boosters to put a little extra gas in your tank. Visit Ally.com to learn more about how you can grow your money fast. Savings buckets and boosters are features of the Ally Bank savings account. Ally Bank, member FDIC. The Motor Racing Network. NASCAR Cup, Xfinity, and Craftsman Truck Series Racing live on your hometown radio station and MRN or NASCAR.com. Martinsville, Talladega, the Chicago Street Course. We have the side-by-side action and last lap passes for the win.
Photo finishes. Ryan Blaney will win.
The voice of NASCAR, the Motor Racing Network.
No change at the front of the field. Eric Almirola continues to show the way. Justin Allgaier second. Harrison Burton goes third. Ryan Sieg fourth. And Brendan Queen rounds out the top five. From Martinsville Speedway, this is the Motor Racing Network, the voice of NASCAR.
Championship weekend is coming back to the desert.
Let's get this party started.
4 title races in 3 days means there will be a buzz in the air all weekend long, whether from the grandstands, the infield experience, or the hillside. This is your chance to witness history and make championship caliber memories for the whole family. NASCAR Championship Weekend at Phoenix Raceway, October 31st through November 2nd. Get your tickets now at PhoenixRaceway.com. Ticketmaster, the official ticketing partner of NASCAR.
Looking for a weekly motorsports podcast to stay up to date on what's happening on and off the track? The Motor Racing Network is the place. Hear from NASCAR crew chiefs on MRN Crew Call. All the happenings from regional touring series and local tracks on NASCAR Coast to Coast. Sprint Car Talk on Winged Nation. NASCAR history on MRN Classic Races. And hear from the drivers on NASCAR Live. MRN podcasts available on MRN.com, YouTube, or your favorite podcast platform.
Now 28 laps go on the board. Eric Almirola up front comfortably by a good 10 to 12 car lengths over Justin Allgaier, who rides second. Hey, race fans, if you're looking to buy or sell vehicles and equipment for farming, construction and transportation, or other used heavy assets, there's no one better than the auction experts at Ritchie Brothers. Whether you're buying or selling, Ritchie Brothers get it done fast. Visit rbauction.com today to browse their auction schedule. Again, that's rbauction.com.
Continuing under the green flag, Eric Almirola continues to lead by a second and a half over Justin Allgaier. Let's get some updates from the pit lane as we are now 32 laps in to this green flag run for the NASCAR Xfinity Series cars, including Carson Quapple, who's gone the wrong way, Steve Post. He has lost 7 spots since the drop of the green flag.
Kyle, and he started in the second spot. What looked good early on has turned into a little bit of a mess. The car is just very tight. Dave Moody actually called it. He said he cannot keep the car down in the center of the corner. Just watching down here, he slides up the racetrack again. Car just wants to slide up the racetrack.
Trouble, turn number 2. One car goes for a spin, slides up the racetrack, does not make hard contact. It's Myatt Snyder who brings out the caution flag for the first time today. Right in the middle of turns 1 and 2, Myatt Snyder diving into turn number 1. May have had a little bit of help down there from the Nick Sanchez right front bumper, but that puts us under the caution flag for the first time tonight.
Making his 4th start of the season for Myatt Snyder, who goes into a spin over in turn number 2. No contact with the outside wall, but will fall off the lead lap, as we'll go to Chris Wilner now to get an update from the pit lane.
Yeah, and Kyle, listening into Brandon Jones, pretty happy with the race car, one of the drivers that is outside the cut line coming into tonight's race. But things are going according to plan for driver of that Joe Gibbs Racing Toyota. He talked to me before the race. He said, I know I'm starting outside the top 10, but if I do my job by the first caution or the end of stage 1, pick up at least 3 or 4 spots, my pit crew has been lights out, and we're going to see it here potentially with this first round of pit stops. He said every race we've been in the last several races back, all the way as back as Kansas, they've gained me at least 2 spots on pit road. That'll put me in a better position to gain some stage points. So Brandon Jones, job 1 is done, picking up a few spots there under that green flag run. Wendy?
Eric Almirola leading many laps here as he went through traffic. He had some communication with his spotter that said, I don't really want to know when I'm at the bumper of somebody, just tell me when somebody's at the bumper of me. So a little miscommunication there, but Eric is very happy with the race car. He just came over the radio when this caution came out, and it said it's a very similar setup on the balance wise to what they had in practice. No changes requested from Eric Almirola.
So we work the caution flag for the first time tonight. We've run 33 laps, and Dave Moody, typically at Martinsville, it's not unusual to see brake rotors aglow. However, earlier in a race, are you seeing any of that?
Oh, 99.9% of the field, right front brake rotors in particular, are lit up like a gigantic campfire. The one exception is Eric Almirola. His aren't lit up at all, and he's on pit road.
The road is
He decided
open.
to come down pit road for 4 tires. Sunoco fuel. They make their way around to the left side. A little bit slow on the right side for Eric Almirola. Also on pit road, Corey Day, who had moved up to the 16th position from the 23rd. Chris?
Sheldon Creed is in, said I'm fighting the same thing as practice, said I cannot get any drive off with exit, so I need help there. Jonathan Toney, the crew chief, going to make an adjustment, 4 tires and fuel. Brandon Jones is as well. Left side service is done, and another good stop for Brandon Jones. The crew's happy, Steve.
Justin Allgaier is in, happy with his race car, just going to get some tires and fuel in that automobile and set themselves up for strategy over the course of this one. Also in is Justin Bonsignor. He gets an adjustment on that race car, 4 tires, Sunoco Racing Fuel, and yes, Carson Quapple with that tight race car, they made an adjustment and brought him down pit road. These pit stops lap number 34.
Justin Allgaier, the first off the pit lane, but not all of the lead lap cars pitted. We'll reset it for you when we come back to Martinsville.
So I just switched to Straight Talk Wireless.
Uh-oh, we just ran out of gas.
Great, gives us time to watch the race.
You know the next town is 50 miles away, right?
Don't worry, I have real unlimited data now.
But how are we going to get out of here?
We got about 200 laps before we need to figure that out.
Get a free 5G phone with select plans and real unlimited data only for a limited time at Straight Talk. Available at your local Walmart and straighttalk.com. Straight Talk is an official partner of NASCAR. Taxes and fees apply. Require single line activation on the qualifying plan for network management practices. Visit straighttalk.com. Copyright 2025 Verizon. NASCAR is a registered trademark of the National Association for Stock Car Auto Racing, LLC.
NASCAR history. Petty wins his 200th career NASCAR victory. Told by the people who made that history.
President Reagan was there. He got us on the front page, and we got him in the sports page. It was a good trade-off from that standpoint.
Motor Racing Network's NASCAR Live presents podcast The Road to Royalty. Jeff Gordon, A Colorful Career, 50 Years of MRN, the 1993 season, Junior's Journey, and more. Search for NASCAR Live on your favorite podcast platform.
The top 9 cars stayed on the racetrack and did not pit. They include Brendan Queen, Jeb Burton, Christian Eckes, Sam Mayer, Daniel Dye, Connor Zillage, Anthony Alfredo, and Austin Green. Justin Allgaier, first off the pit lane a moment ago, currently shown in the 9th position. There were a couple of penalties under this round of pit stops, including Nick Sanchez and Jesse Love, too fast on the pit lane. From Martinsville Speedway, this is the Motor Racing Network, the voice of NASCAR.
Hello?
Hey, it's your man tank again. I just talked to the taste buds. We're all worried about you, Tim.
What do you mean? I love eating veggies. The crunch, I've never felt better.
You sure?
I think so.
You're really sure?
Yeah, man. Seriously.
You're not doing this to me, Tim. You're doing this to us. Just rip open some jerky, all right? Jack Link's Beef Jerky, official meat snack of NASCAR. Feed your wild side.
Do you have $10,000 or more in credit card debt? Are you barely getting by making minimum payments? With credit card debt reaching all-time highs, National Debt Relief is letting everyone know about great debt relief options now available to help people with overwhelming credit card debt. These options may reduce a large portion of your credit card debt. Get a free debt relief consultation when you call 800-212-2828. 800-212-2828. That's 800-212-2828.
At NASCAR.com/fan rewards.
Wrapping up the first caution flag of the evening here at the Martinsville Speedway. Field off of turn number 4. Green flag is back out to begin lap number 39. New names at the front, Brendan Queen and Jeb Burton back in turn 2.
Butterbean Queen launches it at the entrance to the restart zone and drives away quickly. A disastrous restart for Jeb Burton. He gets funneled 3 wide to the outside. He still gets muscled up yet again at this end, courtesy of Connor Zillage.
And Jeb Burton right now is a foosball. Everybody's kind of kicking him all over the racetrack, and he still hasn't been able to get down to the bottom of the speedway. He's going to fall out of the top 10 while they're looking 3 wide for second.
3 wide down the back straightaway, thinking better of it. On the inside lane is Daniel Dye. Around the outside, Sam Mayer. Down low, Christian Eckes.
Sam Mayer in the outside lane to his inside. Christian Eckes with the shorter way around on the bottom. Mayer a bit quicker, topside for the runner-up spot.
Letting it ride in that outside lane is Sam Mayer. A great run off the top of turn number 2. May have glanced off the outside safer barrier just incidentally, but it got him the number 2 position.
That's a great run there for Mayer. He'll take over the second spot. The top 9 cars on the restart have not made a pit stop. Right now, it's Brendan Butterbean Queen at the front of the field and driving away.
And they are 3 wide again for the number 5 position coming off turn number 2. Connor Zillage was on the outside of that. He gets away with it because jumping out of the middle of that fray was Anthony Alfredo.
Justin Allgaier trying to make his way back to the front. The first car up on the leaderboard with the freshest tires, up to the 5th position now off turn 2.
Yeah, not for long. He's going to make his way underneath Daniel Dye to take over the number 4 spot. Dye kicked back to 5th. His troubles aren't over. Here comes Connor Zilic.
Cole, can you explain or put into words how difficult it is when you're on older tires compared to somebody who's got the fresh tires?
It's absolute chaos. And especially when you're really fed to the wolves as the first guy who's on old tires, you really have to be defensive, make sure you don't get put in that third lane where you really give up spots there. So it's all about protecting at this point and minimizing the damage.
Couple of aggressive moves right now for Justin Allgaier. Goes to the inside of Christian Eckes now for 3rd.
Little bit of a bump and run for the little Gator in turns 3 and 4. He pulls it off and drives away with the number 3 position. Eckes back to 4th. Daniel Dye, and then here comes Brandon Jones to the inside of Zilic.
And that is for position number 6, and Brandon Jones will take that spot away. Eric Almirola is on the move behind Brandon Jones and Connor Zilic. He's looking for room to race on Anthony Alfredo.
He has made his way into the top 10 as they race down the back straightaway.
Trouble off turn number 4. One car's in trouble. It's Connor Mozak goes for a spin right in the middle of the racetrack as the oncoming traffic and leaders approach. He's going to refire the race car and pull away as we work the caution now for the 2nd time tonight.
So you're a Toyota Cup driver and you just made it to the playoffs. Now all you have to do is win. Easy. Just turn left, right? That and start strong, take off, reach 200 miles per hour, maintain a good position, no big deal, lap again, time your pit stops, steer clear of accidents, talk to your crew chief like your best friend, and most importantly, turn left. Easy, right? You in? Get up to speed at tgrna.com. Toyota, let's go places. NASCAR is a registered trademark of the National Association for Stock Car Auto Racing, LLC.
80 million listeners depend on AM radio to always be on, delivering news, sports, talk, traffic, and weather reports you can trust. AM radio also delivers vital emergency information when you need it most. Text AM to 39179. Tell Congress to pass the AM Radio for Every Vehicle Act to keep AM radio in cars.
Message and data rates may apply. You may receive up to 4 messages a month, and you may text STOP to stop.
This message furnished by the National Association of Broadcasters.
Back at Martinsville Speedway, pit lane is open. The field now works its way off turn 2. We'll see if anybody elects to come in. Again, 9 drivers stayed on the track on the first caution flag, and the lead cars make their way past the entrance to pit road. It looks like everybody's going to stay out in the top 10. From Martinsville Speedway, this is the Motor Racing Network, the voice of NASCAR.
Boat or RV taking up space? Put it to good use by donating it to the NASCAR Foundation. Proceeds help fund medical resources for children in our racing community. Your wheels can heal. Call 844-NASCAR-9 and we'll come tow away your vehicle for free. The process is quick and your gift is tax deductible. Call 844-NASCAR-9 to donate your vehicle to the NASCAR Foundation today. Your donation will help our children survive and thrive.
We are getting ready to crown a champion.
Championship weekend is coming back to the desert.
Let's get this party started.
4 title races in 3 days means there will be a buzz in the air all weekend long. Whether from the grandstands, the infield experience, or the hillside, this is your chance to witness history and make championship caliber memories for the whole family. NASCAR Championship Weekend at Phoenix Raceway, October 31st through November 2nd. Get your tickets now at PhoenixRaceway.com. Ticketmaster, the official ticketing partner of NASCAR.
Working the caution flag for the 2nd time here tonight at Martinsville Speedway. Brendan Queen is going to be still the race leader after staying on the track again under this caution flag. Nobody at the front of the field elected to come to pit road here this time by. Just a couple of cars way back in the running order did so. So it's Brendan Queen, the race leader here, with now 11 to go in stage number 1. Sam Mayer is 2nd. Justin Allgaier 3rd, Christian Eckes is 4th, Daniel Dye is 5th, and Brandon Jones goes 6th. Connor Zilic is 7th, Anthony Alfredo 8th, Eric Almirola 9th, and Jeb Burton is 10th.
Just outside of the top 10, Harrison Burton in 11th, Sheldon Creed in 12th, Taylor Gray 13th, Carson Quapple 14th, and Ryan Sieg 15th. Then it's Sammy Smith, Austin Hill, Corey Day, Justin Bonsignor and Patrick Staropoli the top 20.
The rest of the running order in 21st at the moment is Brennan Poole, Dean Thompson 22nd, Parker Retzlaff is 23rd, Blaine Perkins is 24th, Brad Perez is 25th, 26th is Jesse Love after a pit road speeding penalty on the first caution flag when he came to pit lane. Thomas Annunziata is 27th, Jeremy Clements 28th, Garrett Smithley 29th, and Ryan Ellis is 30th. Incidentally, Ryan Ellis, it was announced just earlier today, will not be back with that race team next year.
And that's how they're running, brought to you by Straight Talk Wireless, the official partner of NASCAR. Fans of fast get real unlimited data on reliable 5G with no contracts or hidden fees. Now at straighttalk.com and Walmart. Straight Talk Wireless.
So as we come to the line, we'll get the one-to-go signal this time by. Drivers choose what lane to restart in. Brendan Queen, the leader, opts for the bottom of the track. Cole, is it a gimme at Martinsville when you choose to always go to the bottom if you're the leader?
Usually you do have the advantage, but sometimes, the top, if you can get that good positioning on them and hold them down, really pinch them down into the curb, you can take the lead from the top lane, and especially if you spin the tires too much on the bottom. So it's not a give-me, I wouldn't say, but it's definitely preferred on the bottom.
What's the transition off of the concrete to asphalt there in the restart zone?
The asphalt's going to have worse grip. So you have to really watch your tire spin as you get going, and really, especially the guys, they're on 50-lap tires. They're definitely going to have to manage their tire spin and not roast them.
Sam Mayer and Brandon Jones, two drivers that need the playoff points and the stage points right now among the top 6 as we are set for the restart. 8 laps to go in this opening stage. Back under the green flag, Brendan Queen leads him back to turn 1.
He's got the advantage by about a fender through turns 1 and 2, but Sam Mayer hanging tough with him on that outside lane, doing exactly what Cole Custer talked about, pinching him down at the exit of 2 and the entrance to 3.
Brendan Queen will have none of it. He's strong off turn number 4, gets a nose out in front. Sam Mayer rallies back topside. Justin Allgaier right there in third, looking on.
Allgaier bobbing and weaving, high and low, trying to decide which lane's going to get the advantage. And so far, that's a coin flip because it's a solid side-by-side battle again into 3.
Sam Mayer strong in that outside lane right now, staying right with Brendan Queen on the bottom for the 3rd time. They go to turn 1, locked up nose-to-nose for the top spot.
Side-by-side through turns 1 and 2. Sam Mayer hanging right with Butterbean Queen as they exit turn 2. Actually puts a fender up on the outside down the back straightaway. Hasn't got him clear, though, in turn 3.
Valuable stage points on the line for all these drivers, including Sam Mayer on the outside lane, who gets the job done with 5 laps to go in the stage.
Mayer gets it done and drives around the outside, and Butterbean Queen may lose second now because as Justin Allgaier saw that happening, he dove 3 wide to the bottom. He is side-by-side now with Queen.
Here comes Justin Allgaier to the inside to the 2nd spot. Former race leader Brendan Queen kicked back to 3rd, and Christian Eckes now challenging Eric Almirola for the 4th spot as Allgaier closes in for the top spot.
Right behind them, Brandon Jones slide to the inside, trying to pick up the number 5 position. Here comes Allgaier now on the back bumper of Sam Mayer.
3 laps to go in the opening stage of tonight's race. Sam Mayer has the lead, but only by a bumper. But here comes Allgaier. Wedges his way to the bottom of turn number 1 for the top spot.
He's got the low line through turns 1 and 2. Poles even by the time they hit the back straightaway. Side by side now heading for 3. Allgaier down low. Mayer up high. It's Justin Allgaier.
It'll be 2 laps to go this time here in stage number 1, and Justin Allgaier to the front of the field over Sam Mayer. Here comes Queen and Almirola, and now out of shape, and at the front of the field is Mayer in turn 1.
Takes it all the way to the safer barrier. Does not get a piece of the wall in front of him now. The battle's on for second, and Eric Almirola's on the comeback trail.
And he is going to clear Brendan Queen as we begin the final lap of the opening stage of tonight's race. Allgaier up front by 5 car lengths. Now Almirola to second.
Smooth sailing for Allgaier. No challenge at the back bumper. Almirola's got the number 2 spot as Daniel Dye further back nearly got a piece of the wall. 3rd place is Butterbean Queen.
Here he comes off of turn number 4. Checkered flag is out, and it is Justin Allgaier to see the green and white checkered flag to end stage number 1, claiming the stage victory here this evening over Eric Almirola. Brendan Queen back in 3rd, Brandon Jones 4th, and Sam Mayer completed the top 5. Connor Zillage finished in the 6th spot, Harrison Burton in 7th, Christian Eckes 8th, Sheldon Creed 9th, and Corey Day to round out the top 10.
Hey, I hear you think podcasts are all about true crime, huh? Well, wise guy, the iHeartRadio app's got all kinds of podcasts. We got stuff you should know and stuff they don't want you to know. We got Bobby Bones, Big Boy, and Lou Later. We got SpongeBob Binge Pants and Exotic Erotic Story Time. We got Doughboys, Two Dudes in a Kitchen, Green Eggs and Dan. Hey, we got Elf Quest. We got podcasts for everything on the iHeartRadio app for free. If you don't download that, well, that's not just a true crime, my friend. That's criminal.
Are you ready for sights, sounds, and speed that'll shake you to your core? To see NASCAR stars like Ryan Blaney, Chase Elliott, Bubba Wallace, Denny Hamlin, and Ross Chastain attack the asphalt? Are you ready to make memories that'll last a lifetime? Yeah? You're ready. Then we got one more question. What are you waiting for? To experience the thrill of a NASCAR race in person, visit NASCAR.com/tickets.
The stage win for Justin Allgaier was his 14th of the season, most among all drivers this season. From Martinsville Speedway, this is the Motor Racing Network, the voice of NASCAR.
The thrills of NASCAR racing from over 55 years of Motor Racing Network broadcasts.
Bobby Allison brings the race car right down in the middle of the track, crosses the start-finish line, and he will win the 24th annual Daytona 500.
Bill Elliott wins the Hooters 500. Alan Kulwicki, 1992 champion.
MRN Classic Races.
And in the whole pack, steaming for the finish line, Dale Earnhardt wins a Winston 500.
Find all the classic moments on MRN Classic Races on any podcast platform.
Looking for motorsports podcasts you won't find anywhere else? Check out the Motor Racing Network's lineup of exclusive podcasts. MRN Classic Races, Junior's Journey, The Many Hats of Jack Roush, Richard Petty, Road to Royalty, 50 Years of MRN, Jeff Gordon, A Colorful Career, and The Tough Trucks of NASCAR. Find these and more MRN exclusive podcasts on podcast providers and MRN.com.
Stage one complete here tonight at the Martinsville Speedway for the NASCAR Xfinity Series. Justin Allgaier picked up the win. Sam Mayer picked up stage points and has gone from outside of the top four to inside of the top four, but not by much for Sam as they run right now on the racetrack. In fact, he is now just outside of the top four, 5 points back as they run, but was able to pick up some points, valuable points, and if he can do that again in stage number 2, he might be in pretty good position when we get to the end of this one.
Yeah, there's a lot of racing to go before we get to that second green and white checkered flag, and it is Martinsville Speedway, and a lot of stuff can happen in a hurry. All 38 starters of tonight's race are still racing out there. Only 2 cars are being scored a lap down. In 37th, it's Connor Mozak. 38th, Takuma Koga. Austin Green will get the free pass in 36, so he will be the last car on the lead lap.
Expecting pit stops when pit road opens here forthcoming. Several drivers have yet to stop in tonight's race, including Brendan Queen in 3rd, Sam Mayer, who we talked about just a moment ago, in 5th. Connor Zilic in the 6th spot made his way from the rear of the field to a top 10 finish at the end of stage number 1. Christian Eckes also finishing this opening stage in position number 8.
As we continue to work under the caution flag here, this is our 3rd caution of tonight's race. Caution flag number 1 came out on lap 31 when Myatt Snyder went for a spin off the front bumper of Nick Sanchez in turn 1. The second caution flag on lap number 46, Connor Mozak spun in turn number 4. And this, the 3rd caution flag for the end of stage number 1, which was won by Justin Allgaier.
Pit road is open. Who stays out? Who comes in? A lot of the drivers that came in on lap 34 have elected to stay on the racetrack. Most of the other leaders, well, at least 3 of the other leaders have found their way to pit road. Wendy Venturini.
Sam Mayer was all about gaining points as he was going for that stage win. He said, sorry, fellas, I got loose in. It's going to be 4 tires and Sunoco fuel, no adjustments. He feels pretty good about his race car. Chris Wilner.
Alex Jans giving Christian Eckes the command to come down pit lane. Remember, they didn't come down on lap 34. He said it is disconnected on exit. The front end feels like it's coming out of the stops. This car is bad. They're going to make a pretty good chassis adjustment. 4 tires Sunoco fuel. Daniel Dye, who went backwards on that final restart, said the brakes aren't slowing me down. I need some help there, and the right front felt awful. 4 tires and fuel for both of those Colleague racing machines. Steve Post.
Another Colleague car, Brendan Butterbean Queen, ran up front during that stage. Come in 4 tires, Sunoco fuel. Did not see any visible adjustments on the Queen Chevrolet.
Sam Mayer, the first off the pit lane. Brendan Queen coming off in position number 2. Then it's Daniel Dye, third off of the pit lane. However, they'll start deeper in the field as only about 7 cars elected to make pit stops here under this third caution of the evening. The caution because we ended stage number 1 just a couple of laps ago. Stage number 2 already underway here with 53 laps to run. It'll take us to lap 120.
So as we get set to get the one to go here in just a couple of more laps here in the IAA and Ritchie Brothers 250 for the NASCAR Xfinity Series, we welcome to the broadcast Jake Lawson, president and head of Ritchie Brothers North America Sales. Good evening. How are you tonight?
I'm doing great. I couldn't be better here tonight. This is amazing here in Martinsville.
So for the fans who don't know, who is and what does Ritchie Brothers do?
Ritchie Brothers is the world's largest industrial auctioneer, where we sell over $7 billion of equipment worldwide. Basically, if it's got engines and horsepowers, if it helps farmers or truckers, if it moves dirts, we sell it.
How does Ritchie Brothers align and connect with race fans and all the excitement and tradition that we're seeing here at the Martinsville Speedway tonight?
Well, ironically, Ritchie Brothers has been around almost as long as this track, this historic track here in Martinsville, and it's been amazing to see. It's all about taking care of our customers. It's trust, it's transparency, it's about doing what's right, and that's what I see a lot of the people and the fans resonate with.
And what is IAA? What about them?
IAA is one of the largest global remarketers for vehicles. So you think about cars, whether it's total loss. We work with insurance companies all around the world. Some of the greatest insurance companies where there are literally thousands and thousands and thousands of cars a year.
What inspired Ritchie Brothers and IAA to align with Martinsville Speedway and the NASCAR Xfinity Series, and especially the playoffs?
For us, really, it comes down to it's a valued partnership. We have shared visions, shared goals. It's about teamwork. It's about performance. It's a lot of the things that really land here in Martinsville and our NASCAR racers.
And competition is in the spirit of competition. Certainly is synonymous with Ritchie Brothers, IAA, and NASCAR too, isn't it?
100%. I tell my kids every day, life is a competition. Competition fuels excellence, and whether it's on the track, I think about all these great people in the pits. I think about these drivers. It's about innovation and evolution. It's how do you get better every day. We see it the same way for us at Ritchie Brothers and IAA out in the field. We want to get better, provide better service, and do a great job for our customers and partners.
Well, it's a privilege to have you with us here on the broadcast here for a while, and a perfect night for racing. A little cool out there, but everybody here, huge crowd on hand, and we can't thank you and your entire team enough for putting on another fantastic race here in Martinsville.
It's our pleasure. Seriously, when I think about what IAA and Ritchie Brothers have to do, it's an amazing experience, and we're very proud and privileged to be here. Thanks so much.
Absolutely. Jake Lawson, president and head of Ritchie Brothers North America Sales.
And we welcome IAA and Ritchie Brothers to the race here tonight. And their proud sponsorship of tonight's event for the NASCAR Xfinity Series at the Martinsville Speedway. Let's reset the field for you as we're about a couple laps away from getting the green flag and the start of Stage 2. Justin Allgaier is the race leader over Eric Almirola. Brandon Jones, Connor Zillage, who has yet to stop in tonight's race on pit road, had to start this event from the rear of the field after an incident in practice earlier today. He did not post a qualifying time earlier this afternoon and will restart fourth. Harrison Burton will restart in fifth as the field gets the one-to-go signal. Sheldon Creed in sixth, Corey Day seventh, Carson Quapple eighth, Anthony Alfredo in ninth, and Jeb Burton to round out the top 10. Then it's Taylor Gray, Sammy Smith, Ryan Sieg, Austin Hill, and Patrick Staropoli, Justin Bonsignor, Brennan Poole, Dean Thompson, Blaine Perkins, and Jesse Love. The top 20 drivers that made a stop here under this most recent yellow. 28th on back, including Sam Mayer, who will restart in 28th, Brendan Queen 29th, Christian Eckes in the 30th position. Daniel Dye was also on pit road and will restart 31st. Parker Retzlaff 32nd. Garrett Smithley in 33rd. They were on the pit lane. Everybody else staying out here during the stage break. Justin Allgaier, Eric Almirola were the first two to cross the line to double up. Brandon Jones will elect to be the first car in the outside lane with Allgaier to his left elbow. Green flag is up, and we're underway here in stage number 2 tonight in Martinsville, and it's Allgaier to turn 1 as the leader.
He waited very late in the restart zone to punch the button, and it worked perfectly. He drives off turn number 2 with sole possession of the lead. Battle is on for second. Almirola now to the inside on Brandon Jones.
Brandon Jones washes wide. Couple of cars out of the Joe Gibbs Racing shops battle for the second spot. Allgaier gets away with the lead. Now Brandon Jones changes lanes, goes to driver's left.
Jones with a good head of steam in that outside lane, able to clear Eric Almirola and jump back down to the inside line. Eric now goes third. The battle for fourth. Connor Zilich on the outside. Harrison Burton down low.
On the oldest tires of any car out there among the race leaders, Connor Zilich in the outside lane has Burton in the bottom for fourth.
Zilich is hanging tough up there, but those older tires are not going to help his cause right now. Side by side, the battle for fourth and fifth. Burton down low, Zilich up high, then Sheldon Creed and Corey Day.
Good 2x2 racing there from the number 4 position on back. There's real no advantage for either one of those drivers in that knot of traffic.
Connor Zilich doing a tremendous job on those older tires. He is step by step with Harrison Burton for position number 3. Right behind them, 2 wide. Wow, Corey Day with a big wiggle on entry into turn 3. He's going to lose a couple of spots.
That allowed Sheldon Creed to get to the inside and take that spot away. And here comes Carson Quapple now to the inside of Day for 8th.
Corey Day just trying to get his confidence back as that car almost swapped ends on entry into turn number 3. Battle is on for 5th. Zilich tries to get down, but can't do it. Sheldon Creed muscles him up out of the groove.
Connor Zilich better be patient here. He's on that outside lane as they work to his inside. It's Creed. Quapple is lined up there along with Corey Day.
One of those times where you've just got to take some lumps if you're on older tires and trapped up high here at Martinsville. Connor Zilich doing the best he can, still side by side with Creed.
Creed to the inside, Zilich to the outside lane. Connor, a little bit of contact with Sheldon to his inside. And all of that battling just in front of Carson Quapple.
Carson Quapple right there looking for some daylight. He would probably take the opportunity to make it 3 wide, but for the moment, he'll stay in the single file. Right behind him, Corey Day.
41 laps to go now in stage number 2 after the caution flag flew for the end of stage number 1. Todd, it's impressive to see the original tires that started the race for Connor Zilich still hanging tough on the outside lane.
Yeah, he's doing a great job with it. And this is one of those situations. When he didn't get to qualify, he started tail. They had to create some opportunities, some track position. They made it. They didn't feel like, I got to feel like they didn't feel like there was enough laps on their tires to give them enough of an advantage, and he's hanging tough out here. Steve Post?
Todd, he is hanging tough, and this is going to be for a win. Even if he loses a few more spots, that was even be back in the second half of the top 10. He's reporting right now that the car gets a little tight at about the 5/8 part of the corner. In other words, just the exit, and that's causing him to struggle a little bit getting the car up off from the corner. But boy, at this stage with these old tires, if he's struggling and just hanging on the top 5 or top 6, that's a pretty good bold move for this team. And they'll get some tires at the end of this stage and be equal with everyone else.
I want to take this a little deeper, Cole. 5/8 point of the racetrack. What's going on in the race car? What's the trigger point at that point?
Well, you're asking the car to do a lot at that point of the racetrack, right past the center of the corner. You're trying to turn and you're trying to get back to the throttle. So whether it's trying to get the car to turn or trying to put the throttle down, it seems like that's always the problem here at Martinsville, is how you attack that late center or 5/8 part of the corner.
It's amazing that the level and detail of communication from just an 18-year-old like Connor Zilich to break it down to a 5/8 part of the corner out there. And Davies, he's under attack again on the backstretch.
Now, about the time he had made his way back down into the low groove and was able to relax, he gave up the inside again to Taylor Gray. Taylor underneath him. Here comes Corey Day now to the inside.
Connor Zilich has backslid to position number 8 on the racetrack, keeping an eye on him, keeping an eye on the battle for the lead as well, which is beginning to tighten up.
Justin Allgaier looks in the rearview mirror and sees far too many Joe Gibbs Racing Toyotas. Brandon Jones is right there on his back bumper. Eric Almirola closing in.
And for the moment, the top 3 are just kind of logging a few laps here in the mid stages of today's race. 85 laps on the board of the scheduled 250s. The field goes to the backstretch.
Brandon Jones continues to keep a little heat on the back bumper of the Justin Allgaier machine, although Allgaier's pulled away by maybe half a car length.
That's the battle up front. Also keeping an eye on Connor Zilich. That car has stabilized right now. Was under fire from Corey Day just a couple of laps ago. But Dave, Connor's been able to drive away a bit in that 8th spot.
He's really done a pretty solid job, Kyle, considering that he's working at a considerable tire disadvantage right now. He's pulled away from Corey Day by almost a car length.
Cole, it looks like Justin Allgaier, the race leader, is maybe a tick slower than the 2 Toyotas behind him. How patient can Brandon Jones and Almirola afford to be right now?
Well, I mean, at some point, they're going to get impatient. After you sit behind him for about 10, 15 laps, he's going to start using the bumper. I don't doubt it. So, but we've seen it time and time again. Those Joe Gibbs Racing Toyotas, they've been faster at Martinsville, and it seems like Eric Almirola for sure has it today.
And they are racing for the 2nd spot right now off of turn number 2.
Eric Almirola perhaps a little more impatient than his teammate. He makes the move down the back straightaway, goes to the inside of Brandon Jones, and will look to take over 2nd.
I think Almirola has the luxury of being impatient because he is going to race for the Owners' Championship next week. Brandon Jones still has to be careful with the car, trying to be in the Drivers' Championship for.
Jones right now is not completely satisfied with 3rd, but it could be a whole lot worse. But he's got company coming. Harrison Burton closing in, and he's got Sheldon Creed in tow.
Harrison Burton in 4th, Sheldon Creed in 5th. Top 5 beginning to come back together at the front of the field. Eric Almirola closing in on Justin Allgaier. Almirola led 17 laps earlier in this race. He wants that top spot back. Let's check in his pit with Wendy.
After the last time down pit road, when he went back out there, Eric Almirola said he felt like he really hurt the tires running the top lane, and therefore he lost some since the beginning of the race. He went to the bottom lane to get around Brandon Jones, and you can see it's paying off as the caution comes out at lap 91.
Trouble in turn number 2. Jeb Burton got turned around in a heavy pack of racing traffic. Jeb gets the spin, fires it back up, pulls away.
Jeb Burton has cut down a left rear tire in the process. He will make his way to pit lane as we work the caution for the 4th time.
Kyle Larson brings his Chevy 4 tires, Sunoco Racing Fuel.
From fueling NASCAR champions on the track for over 20 years to innovating 94 octane, the highest octane on the market, performance is what Sunoco does. All Sunoco fuel at the pump meets the same top-tier standards as the fuel used in NASCAR.
He's out here for Ryan Blaney, 4 tires with Sunoco fuel.
From the track to your tank, you can trust Sunoco to help your vehicle perform at its peak.
Every hero's story has a humble beginning. Every legend had to earn their stripes. Every superstar had a dream.
It's been a fairy tale season.
Every home track is the start of something special.
That's just good old short track racing.
Oh, a little retaliation. Holy cow! Learn more about NASCAR regional tracks near you at NASCAR.com/regional.
Pit lane is open, and the leaders are there. Wendy Venturini.
Sammy Smith is going to come to a stop right in front of me. It's going to be 4 tires, and they reach in and pull that tear off and give him another water bottle. As they come around to the left-hand side, Sammy Smith said he was a little bit tight. They did make an adjustment. Chris Wilner.
Brandon Jones is in, said a lot of potential with the front, just needs some help with the rear sliding. They're going to make a 4-tire change, air pressure adjustment on the Toyota, and another solid pit stop with potential gains for Brandon Jones. Also in with Sheldon Creed, complaining of a tight race car. See post.
Justin Allgaier's in 4 tires, Sunoco fuel. No adjustments on that car. Pretty happy with that automobile. Here's Jesse Love getting fuel service. For the first time today, Connor Zilich is in. They're going to try to free that car up just a little bit. Justin Bonsignor, Austin Hill, also getting pit service here on lap number 93.
Different strategies ongoing. More cars stayed on the track as the whole wave of machines that made their way to pit road will give up some track position. Carson Quapple, who stays on the track, will inherit the race lead from Martinsville Speedway. This is the Motor Racing Network, the voice of NASCAR.
Hi, I'm Ryan Blaney, a third-generation race car driver, and I dedicate a lot of my time going fast. But when my grandpa was diagnosed with Alzheimer's, it was a very unexpected bump in the road for us. It's important to notice if older family members are acting differently or having trouble with routine tasks. Early detection of Alzheimer's can give your family time to explore support services and access available treatments. If you or your family are noticing changes, it could be Alzheimer's. Talk about seeing a doctor together. Visit alz.org/time to talk. A message from the Alzheimer's Association and the Ad Council.
Gear up. Visit the NASCAR shop online to find all of your favorite officially licensed NASCAR product. The NASCAR Shop is the official online store of NASCAR and your destination for all of your favorite hats, t-shirts, die-casts, and more. Whether tailgating, home gating, or anything in between, visit NASCAR.com/shop for the widest assortment and best selection of NASCAR gear today.
Back here at the Martinsville Speedway, 24 laps to go in stage number 2 as the field comes back to the start-finish line. Working under the caution flag for the 4th time tonight. There was a penalty on pit road, and for the 2nd time tonight, the penalty is a playoff driver, and it's Jesse Love. They got busted for equipment interference. Also speeding out there for on pit lane for Kyle Sieg, as well as Brad Perez got busted for speeding as well, Kyle.
Top 10 drivers stayed on the racetrack here under this caution flag. Carson Quapple shown as the race leader. Anthony Alfredo in 2nd. Brendan Queen 3rd. Nick Sanchez 4th. Christian Eckes top 5. Then it's Sam Mayer, Parker Retzlaff, Ryan Ellis, Austin Green, and Garrett Smith lead a top 10. And then we get back to the drivers that were just on the pit lane and Justin Allgaier.
Well, Todd Gordon, you're a crew chief. You've won the NASCAR Cup Series championship as a crew chief. You look at the way this RCR team with Jesse Love, they came in with a 40-point cushion on the chance to go to Phoenix to be a part of the championship 4. We're not even to the halfway point of the race. They've been to pit road twice, and they've made 2 mistakes on pit road. They're having themselves a bit of a rough night on the pit lane here tonight. Not what you need to do when you're trying to make it to the championship 4.
No, you're not. And the first one being a speeding penalty, whether that's lights or where it is, that's kind of on Jesse, and where that goes forward might be the engineers setting up the lights. This one, equipment interference. Typically, it's a tire that gets rolled into the adjacent pit box too far and affects the teams that are working around it. But as you look at it, yeah, the left rear tire came out and actually made contact with a tire in the pit box behind him and kind of tripped up their jack man. That's a part of what these pit stops are. The gas man should be kicking that tire down as it comes out of the left rear opening.
About to go back under the green flag. The field is doubled up in their rows of 2. Carson Quapple, Brendan Queen will make up the front row. Anthony Alfredo, Nick Sanchez. Some new names toward the front of the field here on this restart. A lot of the leaders out of the top 10, including Justin Allgaier, who was just on the pit lane. Back under the green flag we go with still 23 laps to go in stage number 2. It's Carson Quapple to turn 2.
And a great launch by Quapple will have him solo in possession of the lead down the back straightaway, heading for turn number 3. Second spot now belongs to Brendan Queen, bumping and grinding further back in the pack, but they're going to sort it out.
Jesse Love had to start at the back of the field because of that equipment interference penalty. He got roughed up and lost contact with that lead group. Quapple is the leader of that group.
Down the back straightaway, he flies about a car length in hand for Carson Quapple over Butterbean Queen, who rides in the 2nd spot. Christian Eckes is 3rd, but not for long. Here comes Anthony Alfredo.
Anthony Alfredo, who's running among the top 5, has yet to make a stop so far here tonight in the first 100 laps of this race. Running in the top 5 now, Dave.
Down the back straightaway they come, trying to get that sorted out, and they will. Anthony Alfredo goes to the number 4 position. Behind him, Sam Mayer under the gun from Nick Sanchez.
Sanchez's gold machine right to the inside of that bright green and black entry from Mayer. Mayer gets aggressive and puts the block on, and going into turns 1 and 2.
Sam Mayer will throw that block, hang on to the number 5 position, but he takes a very wide exit off turn number 2, having some trouble holding the bottom of the racetrack, and that's opportunity for Nick Sanchez.
Nick Sanchez running in the 6th position, gets back in the line here as the front 9 or so cars single out. You get back to Justin Allgaier, who is trying to make his way up through the field on fresher tires.
A little bit of jostling back in the pack, back around 15th position. Sheldon Creed just put the plow down and moved Ryan Ellis. Ellis, I think, would like to get revenge, but Creed is long gone.
He is, and now Creed is under attack at the start-finish line. Harrison Burton is there. Sammy Smith had thoughts of jamming it in there 3 wide, but thinks better of it.
Yeah, Sammy had a better thought that time, and he'll let him go side by side for position right in front of him. Further up, Brandon Jones is on the move. He's going to jump to the inside and take a spot from Austin Green.
Austin Green in the outside lane will lose a couple of spots. Brandon Jones goes to the bottom to take that position, and Eric Almirola will follow suit.
Meanwhile, back at the front of the field, it continues to be Carson Quapple by about a car length over Brendan Queen. 2 more back to Christian Eckes. And now here comes Sam Mayer down to the inside for 4.
He gets to the inside of Anthony Alfredo on the front straightaway. Under braking in turn 1, wheel to wheel for position number 4.
Mayer's got the bottom of the racetrack. Anthony Alfredo, fast pasta, letting it ride in that outside lane. The advantage goes to Mayer, but Anthony's hanging with him.
On 106-lap old tires for Anthony Alfredo, who is still yet to come to the pit lane in the outside lane. A lot of pressure to the bottom from Sam Mayer.
Yeah, they are all lined up behind him as well. Anthony Alfredo, I'm afraid, is going to take a bit of a beating here unless he can find some daylight, and he does. Slides down into the low line in front of Nick Sanchez.
They'll get back in line and try to run down the lead trio, which Carson Quapple is current race leader. First laps he's led in the Xfinity Series this year since going all the way back to the month of June at Atlanta.
Been a long time for Carson Quapple. He's ready to win a race, and he may have the car to do it here tonight. He maintains that 1 car length edge over Butterbean Queen.
Cole Custer joins us up here in the MRN broadcast booth. Cole, does that surprise you? Anthony Alfredo running among the top 10 competitively right now, and he is yet to come to pit road 108 laps into this event.
Well, they've worked some really good strategy, and like we said earlier tonight, it's so cold out. They're not really valuing new tires. You can hang on those old tires because they're not wearing as much and the pace is up, so it just has equaled the field out a little bit.
And you look at this situation, and we talked about it in watch practice, 3/4 of a second drop off in lap time. We're not seeing that now. The fast laps for these guys, 2050s. Right now they're hovering in the 2090s. 4/10 of a second isn't a ton of time to give up on older tires.
As Justin Allgaier opens up the inside lane on Anthony Alfredo. Allgaier, we know, has got a fast race car. He's led 9 laps here in tonight's race. As he works his way back to turn 1, Allgaier trying to make the pass.
Down the back straightaway they come. Justin Allgaier trying to rally his way back toward the front of the pack. A little closer to the front. Taylor Gray's on the move. He goes to the inside of Alfredo.
They'll take that spot away just outside of the top 5. Talked about tires a moment ago and tire fall off and maybe lack of, especially for somebody like Anthony Alfredo. Let's get more on tires with Steve Post down on the pit lane.
And listening to Cole Custer and Todd Gordon talk, it reminded me of conversations I had with Sam McCauley, crew chief for Brendan Jones, and Jonathan Toney, crew chief over at Haas Factory Team. And they said, yes, over a 30 or 40 lap run, there's a fall off. But what's interesting is when the tires cool, the speed comes back to them. So consequently, these cautions we've had have been about the right time. So I think the heat comes out of the tires and some of the speed comes back into the tires as well. That's at least one insight I had from 2 different crew chiefs from 2 different manufacturers.
Temperature continues to plummet here, so tires will cool off rapidly under cautions as it's down to 48 degrees here in Martinsville, Virginia. With Carson Quapple up front, Brendan Queen is second, Christian Eckes third. The rest of the top 10 will show Sam Mayer fourth, Justin Allgaier fifth. Sixth is Taylor Gray. Seventh is Brandon Jones. 8th is Anthony Alfredo, Eric Almirola 9th, and Sheldon Creed is 10th.
Nick Sanchez runs in the 11th position as they continue under the green flag. Harrison Burton in 12th, down to the final 6 laps of this second stage of the race. Keeping an eye on the battle up front, Carson Quapple has it. 0.3 of a second last time by, back to Brendan Queen. That margin has stabilized for now, but still within a car length and a half.
Yeah, Quapple is not out of the woods yet. Brendan Queen still there within striking distance. It's a good gap, about 10, maybe 12 car lengths back to the third place machine of Christian Eckes.
Christian Eckes just riding in basically his own real estate right now. Eckes has not won at this level, nor has Brendan Queen, nor has Carson Quapple. The front 3 all looking for their first win.
A lot of candidates for first-time trips to victory lane at the front of the field as we wind down toward the tail end of the second stage. Challenge is on for the number 5 position. Taylor Gray to the inside on Allgaier.
Allgaier to the outside lane. First time tonight. He's been challenged for a spot. Here comes to the inside. Taylor Gray to the bottom. That is for 5th and 6th.
Taylor Gray's had a pretty sporty race car all evening long. He now busts his way into the top 5 as he bypasses Justin Allgaier.
They come to the line. 2 laps to go here in stage number 2. Last chance for anybody to really get any opportunity to score points as Quapple pulls him off turn 2.
And Quapple's got room. He's got a couple of car lengths points in hand now over Brendan Queen. No lap traffic to worry about as he makes his way into turns 3 and 4.
Carson Kvapil a lap away from the stage win and 10 valuable stage points. He has 3 car lengths over Brendan Queen in second. Christian Eckes a distance back in third.
Lap traffic will not be a factor. He won't have to deal with them at all. Kvapil down the back straightaway again. A car length and a half, maybe 2 over Queen as they make their way into turn 4.
A couple of cars getting into the wall at the start-finish line. We stay under the green flag, and now the green and white checkered flag. Stage number 2 is complete, and it's a big stage win for Carson Kvapil. His second stage win of the season. His other stage win came back at Mexico City in June. Kvapil wins the stage. Brendan Queen is second. Christian Eckes third. Sam Mayer fourth. Fifth, Taylor Gray. Sixth is Justin Allgaier. Seventh, Brandon Jones. Eric Almirola eighth. Sheldon Creed ninth. And Anthony Alfredo 10th.
When it comes to moving iron fast, there's no one better than the auction experts at Ritchie Brothers. If you're looking to buy or sell vehicles and equipment for farming, construction and transportation, or other used heavy assets, Ritchie Brothers has spent decades building an unmatched reach with buyers and sellers around the globe. Whether you're buying or selling, get it done fast with Ritchie Brothers. Visit rbauction.com to browse our inventory and auction schedule. Again, that's rbauction.com.
We are getting ready to crown a champion.
Championship weekend is coming back to the desert.
Let's get this party started.
4 title races in 3 days means there will be a buzz in the air all weekend long. Whether from the grandstands, the infield experience, or the hillside, this is your chance to witness history and make championship caliber memories for the whole family. NASCAR Championship Weekend at Phoenix Raceway, October 31st through November 2nd. Get your tickets now at phoenixraceway.com. Ticketmaster, the official ticketing partner of NASCAR.
Stage number 2 is in the books as we work the caution flag for the 5th time tonight. Pace truck will exit turn number 2. Pit road will remain closed this time by. From Martinsville Speedway, this is the Motor Racing Network, the voice of NASCAR.
Hello? Hey, Tim. It's your man tank. I think those veggies in the crisper are drying up.
I know. I've been meaning to eat those. I'll get around to it.
Get around to it.
I will, man. Jeez. All right?
Or just eat Jack Link's jerky. Smoked, seasoned. Some real meat would do you a lot of good, Tim. Jack Link's Beef Jerky. Official meat snack of NASCAR. Feed your wild side.
You've never been one to idly watch someone else do something for you. There's pride in self-reliance, in working with your hands, in harnessing the power of an E3 spark plug with Diamond Fire technology yielding better engine performance. You have a choice to make. Take control of your ride, of your life, or be the passenger princess of it. Visit e3sparkplugs.com to put the power in your hands.
MRN Classic Races on any podcast platform. The Motor Racing Network and Ally Bank have partnered to honor women in motorsports. This week, we highlight NASCAR competitor and sports car ace Catherine Legg for her contributions in motorsports.
I grew up racing go-karts. I wanted to be a Formula One driver, but then I did open wheel. I found a love for sports car racing. I loved doing the Xfinity races that I did, and I wanted to do more stock car racing. I got the opportunity to do the Chili Bowl, so I did it. It was really cool experience. I figure the more things I do, the better I'll become. You know, everything teaches you something. But I think I probably do have one of the most diverse careers in racing, because like literally you name it, I've driven it. I've driven Formula E, I've driven prototypes, I've driven so many different forms of racing. I feel like this is the one that I really want to do that's eluded me, and I just love it. It's in my blood.
The Motor Racing Network honoring women in motorsports was brought to you by Ally Bank. No matter what you are saving for, whether it be race tickets, a car, or a new home, you need the bank that's your ally. Ally Bank, member FDIC.
Back here at the Martinsville Speedway, we continue to work the caution flag. This for the end of stage number 2. Now, pit road has not opened up as of yet, Problem being is we mentioned just as the leaders are coming to the green and white checkered flag, a couple of cars got together right here at the start-finish line. Thomas Annunziata had some sort of a mechanical issue and boxed everybody up, including Daniel Dye, who got a little chunk of that. It all happened right in front of playoff driver Jesse Love, who got away unscathed. But there is fluid down on the racetrack, all the way down the front stretch, into turns 1 and 2, and all the way down the pit lane where Thomas Annunziata brought his car, and the wrecker is there at his machine right now to get it off of the pit lane.
That fluid in the outside lane, or the third lane here on the front stretch, up against the outside safer wall and into turns 1 and 2, where he was able to keep that car high until he crossed the racetrack to make the entry onto the pit lane to the exit of turn number 2. They continue to work with that car now in his pit stall, so it's going to be another lap or two before pit lane is open. Justin Allgaier currently in the 6th position. Let's get more from his pit now with Steve Post.
Justin Allgaier, listening to Jim Pullman, they pitted back on lap 93, and they feel really good about the race cars. They're not planning on pitting here, as they've got one more set of tires down here, and it sounds like that we're going to get when we get a caution somewhere in the end of the Sorry, let's try that again. It sounds like we're going to get a caution, or they expect to have a caution here in stage number 3, and they'll kind of split that difference and make sure they keep the freshest tires as possible on that car. So right now, the Justin Allgaier are going to stay out on the racetrack.
More speedy dry being applied now all the way down the backstretch into the entrance of pit road. As we're under caution for the 5th time, Carson Quapple is the race leader.
So I just switched to Straight Talk Wireless.
Uh-oh, we just ran out of gas.
Great, gives us time to watch the race.
You know the next town is 50 miles away, right?
Don't worry, I have real unlimited data now.
But how are we going to get out of here?
We got about 200 laps before we need to figure that out.
Get a free 5G phone with select plans and real unlimited data only for a limited time at Straight Talk. Available at your local Walmart and straighttalk.com. Straight Talk is an official partner of NASCAR. Taxes and fees apply. Require single line activation on a qualifying plan for network management practices. Visit straighttalk.com. Copyright 2025 Verizon. NASCAR is a registered trademark of the National Association for Stock Car Auto Racing, LLC.
The Tough Trucks of NASCAR, an exclusive podcast from the Motor Racing Network.
Ron Hornaday, green flag is in the air, and he will take the field quickly to turn 1.
Relive the moments of the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series from its debut in 1995.
Checkered flag in the air, Skinner wins from the inaugural for the NASCAR Truck Series by Craftsman.
The legends of the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series.
Todd Bodine wins 4 in a row on super speedways.
The Tough Trucks of NASCAR, available on podcast platforms and MRN.com.
Just circulating behind the Chevrolet Silverado pace truck right now with all the speedy dry put down from the Thomas Annunziata car, who has now been towed back to the NASCAR Xfinity Series garage. I was going to say Cup garage. It's all the same garage here in this tight little infield, which is just part of the charm of this old racetrack. From Martinsville Speedway, this is the Motor Racing Network, the voice of NASCAR.
Heart-pounding finishes. NASCAR Channel is your 24/7 pit stop for all things NASCAR. Streaming classic moments, iconic rivalries, and behind-the-scenes stories from the world's greatest drivers. Dive into the NASCAR culture with shows about the cars, the teams, and the personalities that make it America's most exciting motorsport. Best of all, it's completely free. Stream anytime, anywhere. No fees, no strings, just NASCAR. Start streaming now on Tubi.
We are getting ready to crown a champion.
Championship weekend is coming back to the desert.
Let's get this party started.
4 title races in 3 days means there will be a buzz in the air all weekend long. Whether from the grandstands, the infield experience, or the hillside, this is your chance to witness history and make championship caliber memories for the whole family. NASCAR Championship Weekend at Phoenix Raceway, October 31st through November 2nd. Get your tickets now at PhoenixRaceway.com. Ticketmaster, the official ticketing partner of NASCAR.
Cleanup continues here with all the speedy dry that's been put down around this little half-mile racetrack as the Elgin sweeper now makes its way down the pit road after a whole bunch of it put down there as well. It's also a bit of an issue for some of the pit boxes right behind where Annunziata's car was with the fluid. Put some down in their pit boxes, and their crew members have been out trying to get that sopped up before pit road opens up.
Sweeper making its way down the pit lane now, so it'll be another at least lap or so before pit road is open. Let's pause 10 seconds for station identification on the Motor Racing Network. Just past the halfway mark here on this Saturday night at the Martinsville Speedway for the NASCAR Xfinity Series running of the IAA and Ritchie Brothers 250. Kyle Rickey joined by Alex Hayden, Todd Gordon, and Cole Custer in the Motor Racing Network broadcast booth here this evening. Dave Moody has all the action covered out in the corners. Steve Post, Chris Wilner, and Wendy Venturini are on the pit lane. This race has seen 9 lead changes among 7 different leaders, 5 cautions for 40 laps, as we are still awaiting the pit lane to open at the completion of Stage 2. Been a little bit of cleanup from the Thomas Annunziata car after an incident at the green and white checkered flag. Put some fluid down around the racetrack. Carson Quapple is the leader. Brendan Queen in second. Christian Eck is third. Sam Mayer fourth. And Taylor Gray rounds out the top 5. Brandon Jones running in the 7th spot right now. Let's get an update from his pit stall as we await pit lane to open with Chris Wilner.
Yeah, and Kyle, just listening to some of the radio chatter with our playoff drivers, including Brandon Jones, who's been back to the front and back to the front again several times. They're trying to figure out now what the game plan is going to be for the end of this race, because when you look at the stage points that they gained so far in stage 1 and 2, they pretty much mirrored what Carson Quapple has done throughout the course of the day. So they basically now have turned the strategy to, we have to win this race, because they were going to basically race the one on points, but basically where they're at now, it looks like it's going to be a must-win situation. And their pit crew has been flawless so far on tire changes. I expect them to stay out here, but definitely going to be something to watch as Brandon Jones going to have to get up on the wheel here in the rest of this race.
Green light is on at the entrance to pit road. It means it is open, and here comes Carson Quapple. He's followed by Brendan Queen. Not everybody will make the way to pit road, just the front 3 at the moment. Anthony Alfredo, for the first time tonight, gets to see what pit road looks like. He's in front of Wendy Venturini.
Anthony Alfredo is the only car on my end of pit road, and I'll tell you, he's going to take 4 tires and fuel, but it was Eric Almirola the last time on pit road that lost 4 spots, where he reminded his team, hey guys, let's get it together. We can do this. You won me the race in Las Vegas. We're not going to lose it on pit road in Martinsville. Let's head over to Steve Post.
Carson Quapple is in, said the car still got a little tight late in the run, but it was way better early in the run. 4 tires chassis adjustment, Sunoco Racing Fuel. Justin Bonsignor is in, Butterbean Queen is in, and Chris, in front of you, I saw Christian Eckes down there as well.
He did, Steve. He peeled off onto pit road, and Christian Eckes said finally had some track position. The car felt better. Our track bar adjustment, that last pit stop on lap 65, really helped the turn of my race car. They didn't make major adjustments, just a slight air pressure adjustment, 4 tires, and Sunoco fuel.
Brendan Queen first off the pit lane as the field comes off of turn number 4, continuing under caution. We mentioned not everybody pitted. Sam Mayer will be the new race leader when we resume stage 3.
Hey, listen to this. All I needed was a new starter. Got a great deal on eBay. Did it myself.
Yeah, that's cool. But how about the soft purr of an upgraded exhaust when it fits just right?
For me, it's the little things, like these new windshield wipers from eBay I installed.
From small fixes to big upgrades, eBay has all the parts you need at prices you'll love, guaranteed to fit every time. eBay, things people love. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
We're at the start-finish line.
William Byron on pole position. Green flag is out and we're racing.
We're in the turn.
Here to the inside comes Kyle Larson. He and Hamlin bump.
We're on pit road.
4 tires Sunoco Racing Fuel. The race off from pit road is Denny Hamlin. Eric Jones goes off second.
We are live from the track. The Motor Racing Network, your home for NASCAR racing. Don't miss a lap, pit stop, or side-by-side race for the win. Listen to all the play-by-play action on your local radio station at MRN or NASCAR.com.
From Martinsville Speedway, this is the Motor Racing Network, the voice of NASCAR.
Engines, NASCAR fans, the thrill, the speed, the action. You can now experience it all for free on the NASCAR channel on Tubi. Feel the adrenaline with a library of unforgettable races from Daytona to Talladega. It's a front row seat to NASCAR history. Best of all, it's completely free. Stream anytime, anywhere on your favorite fast platform. No fees, no strings, just NASCAR. Find the NASCAR channel on your streaming device and start watching today.
Don't risk losing the trusted news, traffic, sports, and weather you get from AM radio stations. It's time to make your voice heard. We need Congress to pass the AM Radio for Every Vehicle Act to keep AM radio in cars. When internet and cell services are out, AM could be your only lifeline. Text AM to 39179 and tell Congress to pass this critical legislation now.
The message and data rates may apply.
You may receive up to 4 messages a month, and you may text STOP to stop.
This message furnished by the National Association of Broadcasters.
Top 18 cars stayed on the racetrack during this caution flag. Brendan Queen, who did make a stop first off the pit lane, will restart in the 19th position. Pace truck on the pit lane, set for the restart here on lap 137. Sam Mayer at the point.
And he's the control car. Get back on the throttle anytime inside the restart zone. He waits till midway in the zone. Taylor Gray gets snookered just a bit. Justin Allgaier, the second car on the inside lane, keeps pace in turn 1.
Mayer has the advantage at the exit of turn number 2. The battle now behind him will be for the second spot. Although Taylor Gray may not be done yet, he keeps at him on the outside lane.
Taylor Gray in the outside lane, but now he's done. By the time they get to turn number 4, Sam Mayer will assume the race lead and all by himself at the front. Taylor Gray in second, Allgaier up to third.
Justin Allgaier rides in the number 3 position. Eric Almirola huddled up on his back bumper. He goes to the inside, powers under Brandon Jones to take over 4th.
And here they come up off turn number 4. Almirola in 4th. Looks at a side-by-side battle in front of him for the number 2 spot. Justin Allgaier to driver's left. Taylor Gray topside.
Allgaier dialed up the low line coming off turn number 4. Found some daylight. Drives underneath Taylor Gray. Although Taylor's going to race with him a little bit. They're side-by-side into 3.
140 laps complete. This time by 110 to go. Sam Mayer at the point. Here comes Justin Allgaier to the inside of Taylor Gray for the runner-up spot.
Allgaier trying to slide Gray up the racetrack a little bit, get himself a little more elbow room, but that's still a side-by-side battle. Gray by a fender into 3.
And Sam Mayer, race leader, is loving it. He's trying to get away as quickly as he can. His lead has grown to 10 car lengths. Still wheel to wheel for the second spot back to the corner.
And the harder they race side-by-side for second, the better Sam Mayer likes it, because he is indeed checking out now by about a half the straightaway. On the outside, Taylor Gray again by a fender over Allgaier.
Third time by side for the runner-up spot. Taylor Gray, outside lane. Justin Allgaier to the bottom, just in front of Eric Almirola.
I thought Allgaier had the battle won in turn 4 a lap ago, but Gray just will not quit. He keeps fighting back in that outside lane. A little bit of contact midway down the back straightaway. Allgaier again for second place.
But Allgaier can't use all the racetrack on exit of the corner because of Gray. This time at the start-finish line, it's Justin Allgaier gets the advantage. Behind him, Taylor Gray gets shoved up the track courtesy of Eric Almirola.
Almirola very aggressive as Gray tried to get back to the bottom. Eric said, no, I don't think so. Shoved him up the banking. Gray is going to lose another spot to Brandon Jones.
We'll lose 2 spots in that exchange. Eric Almirola goes to the inside. Brandon Jones will take over 4th. Gray back to position 5.
Taylor Gray, who a moment ago was side-by-side for second, all the way back to the number 5 position. They're side-by-side behind him for 6th. Sammy Smith goes to the inside of Harrison Burton. He'll bring a Ryan Sieg along for the ride.
Sieg's quietly had a nice evening tonight. He's been in the top 10 for the better part of the night. He's not going to get by Harrison Burton as well. Burton looks in the mirror and sees Sheldon Creed.
Burton, for the moment, able to wedge it back down into the low line to stop the bleeding, at least momentarily. But there's a challenge coming behind him. In front of him, here comes Ryan Sieg under Sammy Smith.
Cole, how frustrating can it be for a driver stuck in that outside lane, especially after one of these restarts? Simply can't find a hole to get to the bottom.
Definitely not the place to be. You want to be on that bottom lane. Sometimes you can snooker some guys and get outside and get that good run, but then you're stuck out there and you can't get down, and you end up burning your tires up. It's harder on the tires when you're out there, so it can hurt you on the long run also.
And they're going to try to all get back to the bottom of the track, except for now the battle for position number 4, Taylor Gray to the inside of Brandon Jones.
Taylor Gray takes it back with an inside move off turn number 2. Brandon Jones now drop kick back into the 5th position. Then it's about 8 car lengths back to Ryan Sieg.
Ryan Sieg a distant 6 as the top 5 break away. Brandon Jones right in the middle of that in 5th, as is Taylor Gray, who made the pass a lap ago to take that 4th position away. Wendy, that car coming to life here early on in this 3rd stage.
Yeah, Cole Cluster had just mentioned about trying to wrap that curve being the fast way around. He was a little bit snug when he was down there, but on the outside, Taylor Gray was just burning up his tires. They told him, hey, get back on track, stop, curtain your tires, get back to what you're doing. I do want to mention Taylor Gray ran this same chassis here in the spring when he led 87 laps, and it's also the same exact car and chassis that Eric Almirola won both races here last year at Martinsville.
Eric Almirola certainly a threat to take another grandfather clock here tonight. He's in the number 3 spot. It's hard to look away from an ongoing fight. Todd Gordon back in the number 9 and 10 position, or in the 10th and 11th spot, more like it. Patrick Staropoli just got by Corey Day. Staropoli now driving towards the front of the field. He's up to 10th.
Yeah, I think he's done a great job. And I really, in practice, I thought Corey Day was one of the best cars around here. Really has had good pace. He's picking up what he needs to do around here. But Patrick Staropoli kept the pressure on him, passed him clean. Here running solidly in top 10, seeing his way to the front.
Making limited attempts so far this season and having a nice run here tonight for Patrick Staropoli. Dave, they're stacked up from second on back, led by Justin Allgaier.
Eric Almirola decides it's time to go. He turns up the heat on Justin Allgaier. Just noses his way underneath Allgaier in turn number 3.
Allgaier, gentlemanly on that maneuver, just pulled up the racetrack. Knows that Almirola's got a quick car at this point in the race and is not going to put up much of a fight.
Eric Almirola will drive through on the bottom of the racetrack. Unfortunately for Allgaier, he's got company on his back bumper. Taylor Gray will follow him through, and with a little bit of luck, here comes Brandon Jones looking to make the move.
Interval last time between the top two, 1.2 seconds. That is the interval this time as they cross the line, as Eric Almirola has been able to move up and into that runner-up spot.
Justin Allgaier gets the heave-ho. He goes from the front of the pack all the way back to the number 4 position now, and he may not keep that for long.
Down to 95 laps to go. Some more drivers that are beginning to emerge as potential contenders for tonight's race. Given the fact that we've got a couple of different strategies in play right now, you've been watching Justin Bonsignor. He's up to the 13th position, climbing the leaderboard. But different strategies means comers and goers the longer we put green flag laps in.
Yeah, it definitely does. And I think there's different pieces to this. You know, Cole and I were talking about this in the break. From lap 93, I'm not sure that you can go all the way to the end of this race. I think most, as Steve Post reported, that the 7 car of Justin Allgaier was feeling like they'd get one more opportunity. I think the guys that came here at the end of that stage, they were on pit road at 133. That leaves them a little less than 120 laps to go. They can make that on fuel, and we have seen that cars have been able to go longer and stay out on cycles and fight forward. Chris Wilner?
Yeah, Todd, to your point, I just walked down and checked in with Alex Janssen, crew chief of Christian Eckes, who was the Lone Ranger to pit under the that lap 133 caution in my section. He kind of smiled when I said, can you go to the end? He said, probably, but we're not going to bank on it. So they still feel like they may be about a lap or 2 short, but certainly we know the end of this race could be crazy. If we get a yellow, they feel like they'll be good to go. And obviously with the tire life, they feel like they'll definitely stay out and push it to the end.
23 laps into this green flag run. It was only 4 laps ago when Eric Almirola took the runner-up spot 1.2 seconds back. Dave Moody, he's only a car length behind race leader Sam Mayer now.
Yeah, and he is on the charge. There's no question about it. Sam Mayer's about to get really busy. Eric Almirola is there, and he's bringing Taylor Gray along for the ride.
Patrick Staropoli's on the move further back as well. He's to the inside of Sheldon Creed, wheel to wheel through turn number 4. Staropoli continues his march to the front, but the top trio right together.
Nose to tail now as they make their way to the back straightaway. Down the backstretch, looking to the inside. Here comes Eric Almirola. Mayer can't do a thing to stop it. Almirola through on the inside.
Battle for the top spot. Sam Mayer outside lane to the inside. Eric Almirola, and he has brought Taylor Gray with him there in third.
Almirola to the low line, leads by half a car length. Almost clear as they make their way down the back straightaway into 3. He'll clear him. Almirola to the lead. Here comes Gray for second.
Taylor Gray strong. Brandon Jones way up the racetrack behind them. Jones all by himself looked like he just jammed the brakes and went way up turns 3 and 4. Lost some real estate there and 1 spot in the exchange. He falls back to the 6th spot.
He was able to hang on to it, keep it out of the fence, and he continues on now after a close call in turns 3 and 4. You mentioned Patrick Staropoli. He's made the pass on Sheldon Creed. Dr. Pat's having a lot of fun tonight.
Staropoli driving for Sam Hunt Racing here this evening, running well in the top 10, able to move around Sheldon Creed a lap ago. and move into the 9th spot. As we continue to watch the battle up front, Eric Almirola, that is, the race leader, has company. His teammate right there, Taylor Gray, in the 2nd spot.
Taylor Gray is just keeping the heat on the back bumper of Eric Almirola. He's not really looked to the inside or the outside to trying to gain that spot, but he's keeping Eric Almirola honest right now in turn 4.
Taylor Gray still looking for his first career Xfinity Series win. He came oh so close in Mexico City. This is his 45th career start, and he's on the back bumper of the race leader, who currently is Eric Almirola with 85 laps to go.
Car enthusiasts and dealers choose IAA. With daily sales covering an incredible variety of vehicle types, makes, and models, IAA is your go-to source for fast and easy online vehicle auctions that work. From dream rides and sports cars to total loss and salvage inventory, you'll find thousands of vehicles and new stock added every week. Browse our selection and bid and buy from virtually anywhere. Sign up and start bidding today at IAAI.com. Again, that's IAAI.com.
We are the voice of NASCAR.
The green flag is in the air, and we are underway. The Great American Race.
The Motor Racing Network. NASCAR Cup, Xfinity, and Craftsman Truck Series Racing live on your hometown radio station and MRN or NASCAR.com. Martinsville, Talladega, the Chicago Street Course. We have the side-by-side action and last lap passes for the win.
Photo finishes. Ryan Blaney will win.
The voice of NASCAR, the Motor Racing Network.
Back here at the Martinsville Speedway, leaders now nose to tail, getting by a couple of lap cars and find themselves in clean air yet again. Jesse Love having some struggles further back. A playoff driver came into the race 40 points to the good. At the moment, he's only +9. 2 pit road penalties, and he is now on the same straightaway as the race leaders. His car not handling all that well at this moment. From Martinsville Speedway, this is the Motor Racing Network, the voice of NASCAR.
We are getting ready to crown a champion.
Championship weekend is coming back to the desert.
Let's get this party started.
4 title races in 3 days means there will be a buzz in the air all weekend long. Whether from the grandstands, the infield experience, or the hillside, this is your chance to witness history and make championship caliber memories for the whole family. NASCAR Championship Weekend at Phoenix Raceway, October 31st through November 2nd. Get your tickets now at PhoenixRaceway.com. Ticketmaster, the official ticketing partner of NASCAR.
Drivers, start your engines!
Your home for the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series.
Green flag goes in the air, and we are underway.
On the NASCAR Racing Network.
2 by 2 by 2. They're about 10 rows deep of double-wide racing. Taylor Gray to the bottom. Nick Sanchez outside, and they're crashing mid-pack.
It's the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series on the NASCAR Racing Network.
We welcome you back to Martinsville Speedway. The battle for the race lead off turn 2 is side by side.
To the inside lane, Taylor Gray. He has muscled his way underneath his teammate Eric Almirola.
Back to turn number 4 they come. Almirola outside lane, Gray to the bottom. Battle for the lead with 76 laps to go here tonight in Martinsville, and it's among teammates.
For 10 or 12 laps, Taylor Gray was a very good teammate and didn't really make much of an effort on Eric Almirola, but after a while, you just got to go, and he is to the inside, dealing for the lead.
Almirola tries to crowd Taylor Gray on exit of turn 4. It may work. Almirola gets a nose out in front. They get back to turn 1, and they got a host of traffic dead ahead.
Taylor Gray dives it deep into turns 1 and 2. Almirola trying to finish the pass around the outside. He does. He'll hang on to the lead as they close in on Connor Mosack, but Gray again back to the bottom.
Gray back to the inside. Dive bomb attempt off of turn number 4, but hanging on to it is Eric Almirola. Back to the corner. Jesse Love contact up in turn number 2 with another slower car, and it's right in front of the leaders. That looked like Clements.
And the leaders now are all over no less than 4 lap cars. Almirola to the inside on Connor Mosack.
It's Jeremy Clements has got a right front fire on the brake caliper, it looks like. He's the one that went into turn 1, didn't have the braking ability, slid up the track, collected Jesse Love. Everybody got away. Now Jeremy Clements is going to try to get that car to the pit lane, while the battle for the race lead is Almirola, Taylor Gray behind him, and they are about to lap Jesse Love, Kyle, this time by.
They are the next car in front of the race leader. Talking about Jesse Love, just in front of Eric Almirola and Steve Post. It has not been a good night for Jesse Love, trying to advance into the championship for next week in Phoenix.
And here he is running for his life in front of the leaders right now, and he cannot keep that car down on the inside. The car has been very, very tight, and he just cannot keep the car. And when you're sliding the nose up the racetrack, you can't get back in the gas quick enough either. So he's hanging on to the end of the lead lap right now. Oh, and by the way, 2 pit penalties also for Jesse Love. So it has been a bad night on pit road and a bad night out on the racetrack, and he just now loses a lap to race leader Eric Almirola.
He is, however, the first car a lap down should there be a quick caution flag, and he's got a big gap to the next car that could fall a lap down, Dave, and that's Daniel Dye.
Yeah, that's Jesse's only hope right now. Last time through turns 3 and 4, he actually had to set that car up and turn it to the left 3 different times before it finally rotated and was willing to turn through the corner.
We mentioned Jeremy Clements a couple of laps ago with that brake fire at the right front corner of the car. He has since made it to his pit stall. They extinguished the fire, and he has gone to the infield and behind the wall as the race leaders were over in turn number 3. Eric Almirola at the point, Taylor Gray in second, Jesse Love third car in line on the racetrack. First car off of the lead lap. Then you get back to Sam Mayer running in the third spot, a distant third, about the half the length of the front straightaway. Justin Allgaier right there in position 4.
Now that's a pretty good race from third on back. Actually, the entire length of the back straightaway behind the first and second place automobiles. Mayer trying to hold off Allgaier, who's trying to hold off Jones, who's trying to hold off Justin Bonsignor.
This is a tight race from third on back into turn number 1. Bonsignor takes a peek to the inside of the Brandon Jones car.
And I guess just to finish it up, Bonsignor trying to hold off Ryan Sieg as they make their way down the back straightaway. And Sieg has got a rear view mirror full of Sammy Smith. That is a very intense 6-man battle.
Justin Bonsignor filling in for the injured William Sawalich tonight for Joe Gibbs Racing in that team. And Bonsignor goes to the inside of Brandon Jones for the 6th spot at the same time. Battle for the lead over in turn 4. Here comes Taylor Gray to the inside of Eric Almirola.
Can't quite get there. Almirola hangs onto the lead from the outside lane. Great race here at Martinsville. 65 laps to go. The battle for the lead rages on.
Almirola, the veteran, has done a great job of running a little higher on the track when Taylor Gray noses underneath him, but still rotating the car and still keeping his momentum.
Right on the bottom of the racetrack for Taylor Gray. Eric Almirola maintains the race lead by a car length in hand, and at the same time driving away from the rest of the field. They're side by side again.
Here comes Taylor Gray back to the bottom, but again, Almirola is strong off the top of turn 2. Lap machine of Daniel Dye dead ahead as they make their way to 4.
Those 2 leaders are Joe Gibbs Racing Toyotas. Another one is Justin Bonsignor, who's picking up another spot. Bonsignor gets by Sam Mayer. He's up to the number 3 spot now. So it's Joe Gibbs Racing Toyotas, and they're side by side at the front again.
And here they come into the lap traffic as they race their way to turn 3. On the inside, Taylor Gray. On the outside, Eric Almirola.
Bonsignor in pretty good position right now, the highest among the drivers that pitted on lap 133 during the stage break, running third right now, well behind his teammates that are again side by side for the race lead.
There is just no let up in that battle for the number 1 position. You get the feeling that if Taylor Gray can get shed of Eric Almirola, he may be able to pull away, but Eric's doing a great job of keeping him pinched down in the corner.
Now they've got decisions to make. They're on the back bumper of the next car on the tail end of the lead lap, and that's Daniel Dye.
Daniel Dye will run all the way to the outside wall down the back straightaway, still a couple of car lengths ahead, then go to the bottom in turn 3.
Here they come off of turn number 4, and again side by side with Dye just ahead, trying to stay on the lead lap. Almirola to the outside. Gray back to the bottom.
Taylor Gray dive bombs into turn 1 that time. Erased what was about a half a car length deficit, and it's back into door-to-door competition down the backstretch.
They work their way still side by side. Harrison Burton in turn one goes up just to make sure the white paint's still on the safer barrier and got a real close look at it. He kept his car off of it, however. Now Daniel Dye will fall a lap down as the leaders go nose to tail.
Round the back straightaway, at least for a moment, that battle for the lead has abated. Daniel Dye will give up his spot on the lead lap. Kyle Sieg will be next. And then just ahead of him, Austin Hill in danger of losing the lead lap.
Trying to stay on the lead lap and is within about 10 car lengths of the race leaders right now. Austin Hill on leader Eric Almirola. Cars get together off turn 4. 3 goes spinning.
Around and triggering it at the front of the pack was the Josh Williams machine. At least 3 others have just piled into it. Butterbean Queen has got a piece of it. Connor Zillich has got a piece of it. Corey Day has got a piece of it. Last man to pull away will be Brennan Poole as a 5-car skirmish in turn 4.
And as Poole lit up the tires to spin it around, he almost hit Taylor Gray's car, who had to stand on the brakes. But we worked the caution flag here at Martinsville Speedway for the 6th time tonight with 57 laps to go.
Inspiring story.
Dale Earnhardt Jr. comes back to the Daytona International Speedway. He will win the Pepsi 400.
I'm just the pilot, man. You know, I just want everybody to be happy. I want to do good, and hopefully all of my dad's fans enjoyed this. This for all them.
Motor Racing Network's NASCAR Live presents podcast Junior's Journey. Jeff Gordon, a colorful career, 50 years of MRN, the 1993 season, the road to royalty, and more. Search for NASCAR Live on your favorite podcast platform.
Welcome to more.
Green flag is in the air.
More action. More awesome. More smoke. More sizzle. More soar. More roar. More friends. More family. Welcome to the one place where no matter who you are, you'll leave with something you'll never forget. Welcome to NASCAR.
From Martinsville Speedway, this is the Motor Racing Network, the voice of NASCAR.
Looking for motorsports coverage you can't find anywhere else? Look no further than the Motor Racing Network's lineup of weekly podcasts. NASCAR news and interviews on NASCAR Live and NASCAR Live Wide Open. NASCAR Cup Series Insight on Crew Call. NASCAR Grassroots Racing News and Talk on NASCAR Coast to Coast. And Sprint Car Talk on Wing Nation. All these and more available on podcast platforms and MRN.com.
Looking for weekly motorsports podcasts to stay up to date on what's happening on and off the track? The Motor Racing Network is the place. Hear from NASCAR crew chiefs on MRN Crew Call. All the happenings from regional touring series and local tracks on NASCAR Coast to Coast. Sprint Car Talk on Winged Nation. NASCAR history on MRN Classic Races. And hear from the drivers on NASCAR Live. MRN podcasts available on MRN.com, YouTube, or your favorite podcast platform.
We welcome you back to Martinsville Speedway. Pit road is open, windy.
Finally, Sam Mayer's going to get that fuel that he needed. It had been since lap 66, 4 tires Sunoco fuel. Also, Eric Almirola was a little bit snug for him. He felt like he needed to turn better. The entry got a little bit free when he had traffic in front of him, though. Let's head over to Posty.
Williams, I'm looking at the car. Williams Sawalich on the door of the car is Justin Bonsignor. He feels like they felt like they had the strategy to win that race. That caution put him in a bad spot. They come in, put 30-lap scuffs on, send him back out on the speedway. Also in Carson Quafflin getting service. Justin Allgaier getting pit service as well, Chris Wilner.
Another solid pit stop for Joe Gibbs Racing. +2 for the Brandon Jones crew. Said I had issues with wheel hop. Super tight in the corner, and then it would snap loose. Crew Chief Sam McCauley said we're putting our best set of tires on. Go out and go get them. Sheldon Creed was in. 4 tires and fuel. Super tight in the rubber. Needed help on drive. They made an adjustment on his forward 4 tires and fuel. And Harrison Burton doing a solid job as well. 4 tires Sunoco fuel here on this pit stop. Lap number 197.
Taylor Gray first off the pit lane with Eric Almirola in tow in second. Justin Bonsignor third off. Brandon Jones, Sam Mayer, the top 5 off of pit road a lap ago. However, not all of the lead lap cars made a stop. Nick Sanchez has stayed out on the speedway along with Brad Perez and Daniel Dye, currently scored in the top 3 positions with 53 laps to go in this race.
Daniel Dye just came to pit road. He got the free pass, so Daniel Dye will be back on the tail end of the lead lap. Now, playoff contender Jesse Love started the race tonight 40 points to the good. I think everybody on the property thought he was in a great spot tonight. But they had a speeding penalty on pit road his first stop. They had an equipment interference penalty on his second stop. Now he is pinned a lap down with an ill-handling race car. They just made a pit stop. Jesse Love, currently, as we run, is the last driver in on points by only 11 points. Keeping in mind that's only 1 point per position on the racetrack. Jesse Love, it's getting to the point where they're getting a little bit nervous in their pit box, I would think, Todd.
Yeah, it was, must have been ill handling to the point he couldn't take a wave around there. Came in pitted, puts him a lap down, but they're in a situation where they'll be the first one a lap down if we have a restart in a situation early.
Now, the bad news is, being a lap down, not able to gain a whole lot of spots once we go back under the green flag with 52 laps to go. He's going to need another caution and a potential wave around, and he'll be racing for that wave around with drivers like Josh Williams and also Mason Maggio off of the lead lap as they come around to complete another circuit here. 51 laps to go. Jesse Love right now in by just 12 points. Brandon Jones, the first driver outside looking in as it runs by 12. Sam Mayer out by 13. You have Sammy Smith out by 17. And Sheldon Creed out by 45. He's in a must-win situation right now as a couple of cars will get the wave around, and Nick Sanchez will lead the field to the 1-to-go signal here shortly.
Eric Almirola has led the most laps so far tonight, a total of 51. Second on the lead lap tally board is Brendan Queen. He's led 46 laps tonight, but he is not gonna be in a good position to lead anymore. He's taking that car back to the garage area after being involved in this latest incident. They came to pit road, changed tires, sent him back out there, and Todd, the right rear of that car is pointing in the wrong direction.
It's pushed way forward. I would wonder if they've been a right side truck arm or something, but it looks like an old speedway car with the rear of the car to the left. Not what you want to have at Martinsville.
Field getting the 1-to-go signal. Drivers selecting their lanes for the restart. Sanchez to the inside. Gray will be the first car in the outside lane, and then it'll be Perez, second car in line on the bottom with Almirola to the outside.
Cole, what do you think we're going to see here? More cautions?
Carnage. I think this is the time. We see it every year. This is where you got to be aggressive. These guys are in must-wins, need points. It's going to be aggressive.
I would think Johnson Bonsignor took third row inside behind those two cars, stayed out. Maybe they get pushed up the racetrack and it opens up for them on the bottom.
It's going to be interesting because they're going to be trying to get that 07 cars out of the way as fast as they can.
We are about to find out as they come off of turn number 4. 49 laps to go here tonight in Martinsville. Green flag is up and the inside lane goes first. Nick Sanchez gets the jump as they go to 1.
Sanchez away with the lead as they exit off to the back straightaway. Here comes Justin Bonsignor. He's going to deal it up 3 wide to the inside lane. He's going to pick up 1. He's going to pick up 2, and he may not be done yet as Allgaier gets kicked 3 wide.
3 wide coming off the corner, and there's contact again. Brad Perez, who restarted inside of the front row, gets moved up out of the track. He's going to take Justin Allgaier way up the hill with him.
And now the challenge is on for the lead down the back straightaway. Away with it is Gray. He's got the number 1 spot. Allgaier gets shoved up the racetrack again as to the inside lane. Eric Almirola takes over second.
Allgaier will fall outside of the top 15 at the front of the field. It is Gray, the race leader, Almirola in second, Jones in third, Nick Sanchez, who restarted a couple of laps ago as the race leader, back to 4th, gets in the line and gets into a little bit of a shove now with Justin Bonsignor, who runs in the 5th spot. Bonsignor has pressure now from Sammy Smith in 6th.
Smith's going to dive to the inside on Justin Bonsignor, who got very aggressive on Nick Sanchez through turns 3 and 4 to the inside. Sammy Smith will take over position number 5.
Bonsignor snaps his car back in line to block the advances of the oncoming traffic behind him in the form of Sheldon Creed. Up front, it continues to be Taylor Gray showing the way.
Taylor Gray Gray's got the number 1 spot, but he's got Eric Almirola right in his hip pocket. They ran the other way around, Almirola and Gray for the lead for many laps a few moments ago. Now it's Taylor Gray with the lead.
Joe Gibbs Racing 1, 2, 3, 6 right now on the racetrack among the 4 cars they have in this race, led by Taylor Gray and Eric Almirola.
Gray hugging the bottom of the racetrack as he comes off turn number 2. Now we'll let the line drift a bit up to the wall midway on the back straightaway, right back to the bottom on entry to 3.
They come up off of turn number 4, down to the line, 43 laps to go in tonight's race. Challenge is on for the number 4 spot. Sammy Smith is on the move. He opens up the lane to Nick Sanchez's left.
Smith has got the better race car right now. He drives underneath Sammy Smith. He'll take over 4th. Sammy back in line in 5th. Maybe not for long. Big kick in the pants from Justin Bonsignor.
Sanchez moved up the racetrack. Here comes Bonsignor to the inside, battling for 5th, just behind Sammy Smith, who was able to take that 4th spot a lap ago.
Justin Bonsignor, the multi-time Whelen Modified Tour champion, he's not used to having all these bumpers and fenders to move people around with. He's made the most of it. He's back to the top 5.
As he looks in the mirror and sees a side-by-side battle behind him. Sheldon Creed to the inside of Nick Sanchez. This is for the number 6 position in turn 2.
Creed's got the bottom of the racetrack. Sanchez up high, not going to be able to put up much of a fight. He'll wave the white flag in defeat off turn number 2. Away now goes Sheldon Creed in position number 6.
As Sanchez continues to fade into the second half of the top 10, running in the 7th spot. Here comes Quapple to the inside, further back on Sam Mayer. That's a battle just behind them in position number 9.
Quapple down to the inside. Mayer tried to put the squeeze on him off turn number 2. May have cost Carson Quapple a little bit of momentum, but he'll dive back to the bottom in 3.
Quapple aggressive. They make contact on exit of turn number 4. Mayer will get away with that position. Further up, Brandon Jones takes a different line as he tries to get a run on his teammate.
Yeah, he's just trying something different right now to try and get something going against Eric Almirola. That'll be the battle for 2nd and 3rd.
That'll look to the outside off of turn number 4 on Eric Almirola. Did Brandon Jones trying to build a run up the front straightaway, but will settle in the line in 3rd. And Dave, it's about to be a 4-way battle up front.
Yeah, there is more company coming, no doubt about that. If they worry about themselves, they're going to see Sammy Smith arriving on the scene very quickly, and it might not be much longer before Bonsignor arrives.
Bonsignor only 5 car lengths behind Sammy Smith. Smith, in turn, has about a car length and a half before he gets to the 3rd place runner.
Off turn number 2 and to the back straightaway, front 3 running nose to tail, not more than a couple of feet between them. And yes, now Sammy Smith has arrived on the scene.
Taylor Gray, Eric Almirola, Brandon Jones, 1, 2, 3. Sammy Smith has come from about a second back to within 3 car lengths now in 4th. And then the modified winner from Thursday night, Justin Bonsignor, distant 5th.
Sammy Smith now has, like a dog chasing cars, he's caught them. Now he's going to figure out what to do with them. He's on the back bumper of Brandon Jones.
Brandon Jones in 3rd. Needs to win if he wants to be in the championship 4. Sammy Smith in 4th. Ditto. Those 2 drivers, how aggressive will they get in the final 35 laps?
A little bit of desperation coming in the next 35, no doubt about that, because as good as they are right now, they're not good enough. Brandon Jones, Sammy Smith, they have got to go.
35 laps to go here tonight in Martinsville and Kolb. Prior to the restart, we predicted a lot of contact. So far, so good. Fairly clean out there. You surprised?
Yeah, this is one of the best Martinsville races we've had in a while, I feel like. You know, we're not wrecking each other. So, I mean, these guys, they're being aggressive. They're beating their back bumpers off, but everybody's not crossing that line where we don't want to see people just wrecking each other.
No, we don't, but I get the sense, though, that the longer we go, tempers are going to get shorter and shorter out there. We got 3 wide going into turn 1 right now. As tempers get shorter and drivers get a little bit more desperate out there, that's when things can happen. We almost had a big mess up right there on the backstretch, Dave.
Almost did, but Connor Zillich slides under Christian Eckes, opens the door down there. Guys, if you recall, after last fall, which was a bit of a bloodletter, NASCAR officials had a really terse conversation with these Xfinity Series drivers. We got a car around in turn number 1. as the caution flag flies. We'll try and get a number as they tangle. Parker Retzlaff it is, trying to get that car pointed in the right direction.
Retzlaff goes around one other car to the inside of the racetrack. That is Brad Perez. That has also been collected in the incident over in turn number 2. Minimal, if any, contact for those two cars. It looks like Perez might be hung up on the berm to the inside of the racetrack. Retzlaff has since pulled away, but we go under the caution flag for the 7th time here tonight. 31 laps to go. It is all Joe Gibbs Racing right now at the point. Taylor Gray, Eric Almirola, Brandon Jones. They go 1, 2, 3 with a restart coming.
NASCAR fans, get ready to feel the rush. The official NASCAR Tracks app is your ultimate race day companion. From managing your event tickets to navigating with wayfinding maps, event schedules, and facility info, it's got everything you need to make your experience unforgettable.
Ready, green flag, green
Bring
flag.
your headphones and dive into the action like never before with live scanner access.
Got a race to win, my man.
Listen in on driver and team communications at select NASCAR Tracks. Download NASCAR Tracks now on the Apple App Store or Google Play.
Relive the thrills of over 50 years of NASCAR racing with the Motor Racing Network's Classic Racing.
36th Annual Southern 500. They come down to the start-finish line. Bill Elliott and David Pearson get down.
We dig into the MRN audio vault for unforgettable races and moments.
Dale Jarrett's got the lead. Earnhardt's not going to get him. Dale Jarrett is going to win the Daytona 500.
Available on MRN.com and podcast platforms.
Alan Kulwicki out of turn number 4, the new Winston Cup champion. He does it across the line.
MRN Classic Races.
Pit road is open here at the Martinsville Speedway. Only one of the race leaders, Nick Sanchez, electing to make a stop with 29 laps to go. Jesse Love gets the free pass, and that'll put his team back on the lead lap for the final run to the finish. From Martinsville Speedway, this is the Motor Racing Network, the voice of NASCAR.
The thrills of NASCAR racing from over 55 years of Motor Racing Network broadcasts.
Bobby Allison brings the race car right down in the middle of the track, crosses the start-finish line, and he will win the 24th Annual Daytona 500.
Bill Elliott wins the Hooters 500. Alan Kulwicki, 1992 champion.
MRN Classic Races.
And in the whole pack, steaming for the finish line, Dale Earnhardt wins a Winston 500.
Find all the classic moments on MRN Classic Races on any podcast platform.
NASCAR history.
Petty wins his 200th career NASCAR victory.
Told by the people who made that history.
President Reagan was there. He got us on the front page, and we got him in the sports page. It was a good trade-off from that standpoint.
Motor Racing Network's NASCAR Live presents podcast The Road to Royalty. Jeff Gordon, A Colorful Career, 50 Years of MRN, the 1993 season, Junior's Journey, and more. Search for NASCAR Live on your favorite podcast platform.
We continue under the caution flag here at Martinsville Speedway, the 7th one of the night for an incident over in turn number 2. Everyone has been able to pull away. Track cleanup about complete. Taylor Gray, Eric Almirola, Brandon Jones, Sammy Smith, and Justin Bonsignor, the current top 5.
Why don't we find out what some of these playoff contenders are talking about on the radio as we get down to it with 27 laps to go, starting with Steve Post.
Right now, the driver in the best shape as far as those that need to transfer in that hasn't done so yet is Carson Kvapil. He's running in the 9 spot. I know a stage win is a stage win, but those 10 points they got for that stage 2 win have put them in a really nice spot. They are just being calm and patient. The car is very, very good. He can wrap the bottom of the racetrack, but they're right behind Sam Mayer. They don't want to get into dust-up with Sam Mayer. Sam Mayer's had some issues with Jeb Burton, who's right there as well. So they're just warning Carson, you are in good shape point-wise. Don't put yourself in any risk, any jeopardy, and let's bring this good race car home here at Martinsville Speedway. So Kvapil right now feeling like he's in pretty good shape. Chris, who do you have?
Brandon Jones, who's not yet in pretty good shape, but his crew chief Sam McCauley playing role of cheerleader, saying your opportunity is out the windshield, go out and get it. We're -9, you're racing your teammates, but those two up in front, talking about Taylor Gray and Eric Almirola, have been running each other really hard. Just make sure you're close enough to capitalize. Brandon Jones said, the car's just a little bit too tight. I'm playing with my brake bias, but I don't have much more room to bring it back because it's going to sacrifice my corner entry, but they're trying to calm him down here. But Brandon Jones, all eyes forward. We'll see what happens here with his teammates, Wendy.
Sammy Smith in fourth, negative 16 in sixth right now. They know the point situation every lap. It could be a race between Sammy Smith and Brandon Jones was the latest advice to Sammy Smith, who's lacking a little bit of rear grip as we go green.
Green flag is out. Sammy Smith to the outside of row 2. Inside lane comes up the speed first, led by Taylor Gray.
Boy, a tremendous restart for Taylor Gray. He will easily get away with the lead. Eric Almirola now falls back into a side-by-side battle with Brandon Jones. Jones to the inside. That's the fight for second.
Brandon Jones slides up the track. They nearly made contact. Almirola will get away with second. Brandon Jones has to play defense. Sammy Smith is the aggressor.
Smith dives to the bottom. He moves Jones up the racetrack. Now it's Sammy Smith on the move. He goes to the low line, side by side with Jones for the numbers 3 and 4 positions. Oh, he turned, and the entrance of the corner is Carson Quapple. They got jumbled up back around mid-pack. Carson Quapple gets turned in turn 3 and 4. What a disaster for Quapple.
Contact from Ryan Sieg sends Quapple around in turn number 3 and currently outside of the playoffs, outside of the top 4, now by 7 as they run, and he rejoins at the tail end of the field, Dave Moody.
They were running 2 and 3 wide down the back straightaway, Kyle, and nobody was giving anybody any extra room. Somebody locked up the brakes. All 4 corners going into turn 4. They started scrambling, and Quapple got clipped from behind. He has gone from the penthouse to the outhouse as quickly as that.
It was Ryan Sieg that got him, but Sieg had pressure. He was being pushed by Harrison Burton. To Dave's point, everybody is just going for all they can right now. The brakes have been worn down just a bit. A lot of these guys on older tires. Todd, in a word, Martinsville.
Yeah, that was Martinsville. It's easy to point it at Ryan Sieg, but he had all 4 tires locked up smoking as he's got Harrison Burton pushing him in the corner. Not quite in a position where he could get off of the one car of Carson Quapple.
And until the spin, Brandon Jones and Sammy Smith were needing to win this race to have a shot at advancing to the championship 4. Now they run on the racetrack 3rd and 4th. Smith in front of Jones and Quapple outside of the top 20. -7. Jones is in now in 4th by 1 point over Sammy Smith.
Incredible. A moment ago we were talking about they have to win this race here tonight. Certainly win takes care of everything, Cole, but the fact is every position equals 1 point. You got to get all you can.
Yeah, I mean, it's tight. I mean, you look at the 20 and the 8 right now. They're within 1 point. The 41's back by 3. The 1 is 7 back, but he's going to have a lot of spots that he can gain right here. So it's going to be a nail biter all the way down to the finish.
Currently in the 30th spot is Carson Quapple, no doubt the deepest that he has been all night. Let's get more from his pit with Steve Post.
They are a whole lot calmer on Carson Quapple's radio than I would be after that. I'll tell you, they have been really, really calm, and that's exactly what Cole Custer just said. Andrew Overstreet just come on the radio and said, you're going to restart in 30th spot, maybe 29th, depending on the choose. Everybody in front of you is for position. You're better than every car in front of you, and you need 8 of them the way it sits right now. Just go out there and get them. They talked about coming in and getting tires. These tires have 20 laps on them. The newest tires they have after that are 35-lap scuff tires, so they're going to leave them on the racetrack and try to gain 8 spots and see where they're at that point, and they feel like they've got a lot of opportunity out the windshield for Carson Quapple.
We'll find out how it all plays out, and it's a great point to understand that you got nowhere to go but up the leaderboard, where those cars in front of them are racing around the front of the field. Doesn't look like anybody's had a whole lot of raw speed on restarts for Sammy Smith or Brandon Jones specifically to just drive up and pass either Taylor Gray or Eric Almirola. But Cole, with 19 to go, we're yet to get the 1 to go. Have we reached the point where on the restart, just go ahead and sail it on in there?
These guys aren't going to hold back. I think we know Sammy Smith's not going to hold back, and he's running 3rd. He could be in a really good spot right here. So we could see the same thing that happened in the spring with Sammy Smith and Taylor Gray. So it's going to be an interesting one.
2 drivers that don't need to win, but they are racing each other. Sammy Smith in 3rd, Brandon Jones 4th, and they are separated by 1 point in 4th and 5th on the playoff grid. Only the top 4 advance to the championship race next week. Chris Wilner.
Absolutely, Kyle. And boy, Sam McCauley now has completely switched into scenario mode for Brandon Jones. Things have certainly changed in the last couple of minutes. He told his driver, he said, the one took its way out. What we need to do is go for the win, but focus forward and beat the 8. There is a scenario we can point our way in now, but you have to keep Sammy Smith behind you. So talk about multiple facets to this Championship 4 scenario for Brandon Jones, having to compartmentalize it all here in this final restart. But things are going to get interesting. But again, Brandon Jones trying to beat the 8 here, but also go for the win. And I can only imagine what Sammy Smith's thinking on the other end as well.
Sammy Smith has finished second here at Martinsville a couple of different times in his young career. He's going to choose the inside lane of the second row. A prime opportunity, Cole, if he gets a good jump here in the restart, to go ahead and go to the bottom of the racetrack.
It's going to be chaos. I wouldn't put it past anybody right here. It's 18 to go. Championships are on the line right now, and they're going to go for it.
Speaking of second place finishes, let's not count out Sheldon Creed to the inside of the third row in 5th. Far from out of this one with still 17 laps to go. Will he get his first win here tonight? Green flag is up. Back underway. Taylor Gray, Eric Almirola battling for the top spot.
Gray gets the advantage into turn number 1, trying to clear Eric Almirola off the exit of 2. He will do so. Gray to the lead. Almirola now being challenged down low by Sammy Smith.
Sammy Smith muscles his way to the bottom of the racetrack, pulls even with Almirola for second. Gets a run there. Tries to stay with him under braking in turn 1. He's successful in that.
Brandon Jones tried to slam it back down into the low groove. Sheldon Creed, at least for the moment, had none of it. I think he'll get the job done now, though. Brandon Jones back to the bottom in 4th place.
Sammy Smith to the inside for second, just in front of Brandon Jones in 4th, and he has Eric Almirola to his outside.
Sammy Smith down low will bypass Almirola. Drifting up just a little bit was Taylor Gray, gave Sammy a bit of a look for the lead. Into turn number 3 they go, single file among the top 5.
Deeper in the field, Carson Quapple's past 2 cars now. Quapple is tied with Brandon Jones. Check that, Quapple 6 behind. Brandon Jones and Sammy Smith are the ones tied for the final transfer spot.
Quapple just picking him off as quickly as he can toward the back of the pack. At the front of the pack, Brandon Jones is up to 4th, trying to put some heat now on Eric Almirola.
Quapple now 5 points out, has 13 laps to gain at least 6 more as they go back to the corner, tied for 4th between Sammy Smith and Brandon Jones. They're among the race leaders.
Quapple goes to the bottom. He's going to pick up another spot from Connor Mosack. Nothing happening in the top 5 right now. Everybody continues to run single file.
As Justin Bonsignor picks up another spot further up, he gets by Jeb Burton, keeping an eye on Carson Quapple. Next one is another playoff driver. It's Jesse Love, who is going to be under attack from Carson Quapple.
Quapple's going to make short work of Jesse Love, who continues to struggle as they race down the back straightaway. Carson Quapple picks up another spot, closes in on Blaine Perkins. Couple of cars get together in front of him. He may get 2 at the exit of 4.
It was 6 and then 5 and then 4, now 3 for Carson Quapple, now 2 as he is just a couple of points out and gaining more off 2.
Carson Quapple did the bump and run, sent a couple of cars sliding up the racetrack. He's to the inside of Blaine Perkins after passing Jesse Love, Christian Eckes, and others.
Carson Quapple is 25th. By the way, the race leader is still Taylor Gray. Nothing changed up front. Eyes on Quapple, trying to get the spots back and try to get back into the Championship 4 picture.
Taylor Gray actually pulling away with the lead by about 3 car lengths. Carson Quapple now closing in on the Sieg machine. Big shot in the back bumper. He'll go to the inside in 4.
Brandon Jones able to take the 3rd spot away from Eric Almirola on the racetrack, and now we'll close in on Sammy Smith for 2nd, keeping an eye on Quapple, continuing to make passes deeper in the pack, and now is tied for the 4th and final playoff spot.
He passed the Kyle Sieg machine. He has passed Daniel Dye. He's got Patrick Staropoli in the crosshairs now.
As they come down to the line, Quapple and Brandon Jones are now separated by 2 points. Quapple's march is successful. Quapple is back in by 2 positions.
And he's not done yet. He is on the back bumper of Patrick Staropoli as they make their way through turn 3 and 4. He'll look to the inside.
Brandon Jones now out by 2 points and challenging Sammy Smith. For 2nd, he's out by 3 points.
He's got to go by Sammy Smith, does Brandon Jones, but even if he does, it's another 5 car lengths ahead to the leader, Taylor Gray.
Who is driving away. He's trying to get his first career Xfinity Series win. Further back, Quapple gets another position. He gets around Patrick Staropoli, trying to pad his advantage at the moment.
And I don't know if he feels like he can just ride now that he's got some points in hand. He sure can't, because Brandon Jones just opened up the bottom. He'll bypass Sammy Smith to pick up another spot.
5 laps to go at the start-finish line for race leader Taylor Gray as he goes back to turn number 1.
Trouble, turn number 3. Up and into the outside wall is Daniel Dye. He's got a tire down on that machine. Sparks showering out from under as he pulls away. Caution is out for Daniel Dye.
And this will be the 9th caution flag. Dye's shower of sparks behind his champion Container Chevrolet. He'll make his way to the pit lane. We're headed to overtime here in Martinsville, Virginia, and the playoff picture could not be much tighter than what it is right now.
Carson Quapple right now in the final car in by 2 points over Brandon Jones, who's the first car out. Sammy Smith is 6th on the grid, 5 points out. Sam Mayer is 7th, 6 points out. And that could change with a new winner, and there's a couple of drivers up front. Brandon Jones could win, Sammy Smith could win, and that could change everything for Carson Quapple.
That would shove Quapple out of the championship four. So much excitement, so much on the line, and so much nerves and pressure with these teams down there, and the fans are absolutely loving it. Fans are already on their feet and are lined up down behind the flag stand, just waiting to see how all this one's going to play out. You used the word carnage a little while ago, Cole Custer. I think we've hit that point where I don't think we have a choice, but we're going to have some carnage here.
Well, they've impressed me. I mean, everybody has really raced really clean today. There hasn't been any wrecking, but, man, it's going to be a green-white checker. The 20, he's in a spot where he could have to win. The 8's in a spot where he could have to win. It's going to get aggressive. I don't know what they're going to do here, but it's going to be dicey.
And that's not it. 5th, we've got Sheldon Creed. 6th, we've got Sam Mayer. Both of those guys. Hey, we've got 4 guys in the top 6 that all need a win to get themselves to a championship 4.
Current race leader Taylor Gray not among them. He'll bring them down for the restart in a couple of laps from now. Let's pause 10 seconds for station identification on the Motor Racing Network. Getting into the final couple of laps and heading potentially toward overtime here in the IAA and Ritchie Brothers 250 for the NASCAR Xfinity Series tonight at the Martinsville Speedway. Not only going to crown a race winner, but also determine the championship 4 heading to the championship race for this series next week at the Phoenix Raceway in Arizona. Kyle Rickey, Alex Hayden, Todd Gordon, and Cole Custer with you in the Motor Racing Network broadcast booth tonight. Dave Moody out in the corners, Steve Post, Chris Wilner, and Wendy Venturini on the pit lane. A competitive event here tonight, 14 lead changes, 10 different leaders. Taylor Gray out front right now. Eric Almirola has been toward the front of the field for much of the night and has led the most at 51 circuits. But Alex, the bigger picture, the run for the championship, the drivers involved in the round of 8, many of which need a win to have a shot at a championship next week in Phoenix.
Never mind that non-championship driver, Taylor Gray, is the race leader, and he's been in control of this race for the last 50, 60 laps and having good restarts all the way.
Yeah, and we watched him pressure Eric Almirola when he was second to him. Once he got clear of him, he pulled out to a decent lead. I feel like he's got good control of this race. Brandon Jones has had speed, a similar car, a similar group out of JGR, and we'll see what he's got and how aggressive he can be in working on Taylor.
Let's see who will go where for the restart 1 lap from now as the drivers will select their lane here on the front straightaway. Top 2 go to the inside. Taylor Gray and Brandon Jones. That opens up the outside lane for Sammy Smith. He'll restart. First car outside, Sheldon Creed. Second car to the outside lane.
Taylor Gray, looking for his first career Xfinity Series win, is surrounded by drivers that must win to be in the championship for next week. He's got Sammy Smith to his right on the front row. He's got Brandon Jones, his teammate, on his back bumper on the inside of the second row. Oh, by the way, outside second row is Sheldon Creed. He is in a must-win situation as well. green, white checker, Kyle Rickey to decide it here in overtime.
Pace truck on the pit lane. Here they come off of turn 4, racing for a win and racing for a championship berth potentially next week in Phoenix. Green flag from the starter stand underway. 2 laps to settle it. Taylor Gray brings the field to turn 1.
Good jump for Taylor Gray. He is away at the front of the pack. He's got to feel like a hamburger in a room full of starving men. But right now he's doing exactly what he needs to do. He's pulled away by a car length.
Get away from everybody. That's the strategy. He's successful. White flag is out. Taylor Gray 1 lap away from career win number 1. Sammy Smith trying to take it away.
Sammy Smith is second. Brandon Jones is third, but they're running out of time. Down the back straightaway, final time. Taylor Gray by a car length and a half.
Sammy Smith drives it in deep, but he's not close enough as they come off of turn number 4. Checkered flag is out. Taylor Gray will pick up the win in the IAA and Ritchie Brothers 250 at Martinsville Speedway as they go crashing into turn number 1. Advancing into the championship 4 by 4 points. And it was close for Carson Quapple, but he will advance, as will Jesse Love by 16 points, joining Justin Allgaier and Connor Zillage in the championship 4 next Saturday at the Phoenix Raceway as we go to pit road.
Taylor Gray picks up his first career win in the NASCAR Xfinity Series. He does it here at Martinsville Speedway, and he'll earn himself a grandfather clock when it's all said and done.
Hey, I hear you think podcasts are all about true crime, huh? Well, wise guy, the iHeartRadio app's got all kinds of podcasts. We got stuff you should know and stuff they don't want you to know. We got Bobby Bones, Big Boy, and Lou Later. We got SpongeBob Binge Pants and Exotic Erotic Story Time. We got Doughboys, Two Dudes in a Kitchen, Green Eggs and Dan. Hey, we got Elf Quest. We got podcasts for everything on the iHeartRadio app for free. If you don't download that, well, that's not just a true crime, my friend. That's criminal.
We are getting ready to crown a champion.
Championship weekend is coming back to the desert.
Let's get this party started.
4 title races in 3 days means there will be a buzz in the air all weekend long. Whether from the grandstands, the infield experience, or the hillside, this is your chance to witness history and make championship caliber memories for the whole family. NASCAR Championship Weekend at Phoenix Raceway, October 31st through November 2nd. Get your tickets now at PhoenixRaceway.com. Ticketmaster, the official ticketing partner of NASCAR.
NASCAR Live Race Day continues on the Motor Racing Network.
It's all over at the Martinsville Speedway, climbing out of the safety roof hatch. First career win for Taylor Gray, the young man finally able to do it. He was so close many times. Finished second at Mexico City earlier this year, but he is a winner for the first time in his NASCAR Xfinity Series career in his 45th career start.
Picks up the win here tonight, dominating the late laps of this event, holding off Sammy Smith, who is in a must-win situation there in the closing laps. He will miss the playoff cutoff with the championship 4 cutoff by just 5 points here tonight with that runner-up finish. Heartbreak for Brandon Jones as well, finishing in third. He climbs from his car on the pit lane, missing by just 4 points. Talked about Sammy Smith a moment ago. Our runner-up finisher falls short as far as the championship is concerned. Let's hear from him now with Wendy.
Sammy Smith at his car by himself right now. What are your thoughts going through your head, Sammy?
Yeah, I'm just frustrated, obviously. I want to win. Yeah, I just wanted to win, obviously, and advance.
What else did you have left in your car? What else could you have done to get around Taylor Gray?
I mean, nothing. He did a good job. He was definitely, I think, a little bit better than us, but I don't know. I was definitely too far back, obviously, to make a move, and yeah, it sucks.
Sammy Smith, disappointed, of course, not rolling on to the Final Four at Phoenix. Steve Post.
Jesse Love's leaning up against the Whelen car, and the good news is you qualified for the race, but Jesse, I can tell by your body language, that's certainly not what you guys want. So what's your emotion, what's your thought right now?
Yeah, just got to get, focused on Phoenix, and a couple weeks we'll circle back to tonight, but yeah, we don't have the luxury to be focused on what happened tonight. Obviously wasn't our best performance, but obviously we stayed in the fight and stayed smart and used our head, and we've been able to do that our whole year, and I've been able to do that my whole life to put myself in spots like this to race for a championship.
Yeah, we'll see what happens with it. He's won championships before. That's Jesse Love. ARCA West Series championships. He's done that at Phoenix. He's going to run for the Xfinity Series championship next week. Wendy?
Brandon Jones, you could tell the